I'm AbbyX Toycat, and welcome back to part 2 of destroying an entire trial chamber. In the first part, we got most of the first room of a trial chamber destroyed and a decent headway on the second. This is a different trial chamber I went to for a fun side project. But first, before we can actually start on the rest of it, I need to bring all of my goodies from the trial chamber home. I've gone to dozens of trial chambers now, trying to pick up some good loot, and one of the things that I need to make sure I do is to actually pick up the diamonds when I find them. This is such a silly thing that I know is very me particular, but I've been ignoring diamonds for a very long time, and they've been piling up. So we're going to pick up some diamonds that we picked up on the way to our trial chambers, then we're going to drop all of our loot off at home, and then we can use our newly repaired pickaxes to do some more destruction. Hope you're looking forward to it. At Ben Mimim, hope you enjoy the destruction of diamonds. I still remember the first time I found diamonds and the joy I felt in Minecraft, and it's funny that sometimes that's truly diminished in the modern age. You know, like truly at this point I'm like, diamonds, I've got to work out where they're going to fit into my inventory now. But it's funny because at the same time, this is still a old world issue versus a new world issue. I think every time I'm playing on a older world, also more diamonds. See, there's just, I piled up so many diamonds that I just didn't mine, that this is going to be a substantial amount that I probably am meant to care about. And so that's what we're going to be doing. So hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the live stream. This is a little bit of a pre-stream I figured I'd include. If you're watching this afterwards, just skip 10 minutes in, or you can watch me mine my diamonds. But yeah, there's a thing that I'm really contemplating today, more than on any other day, at the very least. And that is, you know, the big project that we're working on, and the meaning that it really has as it fits into everything else. Also, Toycat, I'm destroying my own trial chamber, and I'm around 8 shulker boxes and 1.5 rooms in. I think that if I was not going for the flashy, you know, like, if I wasn't going for, I say flashy title, like, you know, I know there's a trillion people wanting to click destroying a trial chamber. That has to be true, because what else could it mean? But, you know, more seriously, I think, outside of going for, like, the big, actually fitting a complete project, even if I didn't want to destroy an entire trial chamber, I would say the real sweet spot for any Minecraft world, like, genuinely any Minecraft world, is you should destroy at least one room of a trial chamber for the bits that you want the most. So if you want tough bricks, go get those tough bricks. If you want to get, you know, whatever particular item it is that you want, go and get that from the trial chambers, because you will be able to get it much easier than elsewhere. I think copper is the best example of this, but just mining an entire room worth of copper will give you such a leg up the next time you want to craft copper bulbs, or you want to craft copper grates, or whatever thing it is. By the way, I forgot, I made these little rings in my world to make it easier to fly back after a journey like this. But here we are, let's just quickly hop right in here, and let's go do this. Wow, nice flying. Thank you, Sunflower Psycho. It's a very, very good amount of flying. So how many trial keys have you got? I feel like they should make another use for them instead of using it on Vault once. Yeah, that's a really good point, Sean Isnard. I love anything that builds long-term progression. Also, this is a funny, but we just gotta wait for that to go away. I love any sense of long-term progression. Anything that makes you feel like in the long run you are building stuff up in your world. And trial keys could provide that, but don't. And I think that it's something they could maybe work on. Okay, so we've got a lot of stuff just to drop off. We're going to do a tiny bit of chest organization to start, because I have a lot of deep slate diamond ore, and a lot of diamonds, and a lot of emeralds, and a lot of just stuff that needs to go somewhere, right? So let's start with breeze rods. Right now I store my blaze rods in this big chest right here. Just for fun, I think we should put our breeze rods on top of it. Does that make a lot of sense? Some could argue no, but I think also, you know, it looks nice, right? And looking nice is like half the battle. So that is the easiest way to store some of our items. With the rest of them, iron blocks and you know, this has a very particular place to go to. I think I definitely want more anvils in my world, so we could maybe craft some of that. Gunpowder is easily turned into something, but the banner pattern flow is a little less easy so. And then we've also got our music discs. These need a place in the world, and I don't know where that's going to be. Netherrack and nether quartz and pottery shards also have places they've got to be. And diamonds can go in the diamond chest alongside this diamond block. So let's go ahead and let's see how many diamonds we have hanging around in the world right now. We'll evenly split it amongst the whole set. So we'll just go, there we go. Just evenly across. Make it look like the chest has maybe less diamonds than it does. And then let's go get it. Also found out I'm pregnant today, says Adam Sony. Hey, congratulations! I I think that that is good news. Most people say it like it's good news. So I'm going to say congratulations. Okay, so now we're going to grab the 64 emeralds. I'm actually going to craft these all together into big blocks, because I think blocks are just a more efficient way. So now we've got lots of those and 8 spare emeralds. Next time that I need to go for these, I know I can do that quite easily. Now we just drop off the rest of our garbage, and we'll be good to get back to destruction. So I'm seriously so thankful they added a structure of copper blocks. I've been putting off a project that requires tons of copper for forever. Yeah, Ava, to me, that is one of the easiest ways they can make a quality of life update, is make a structure or a thing in the world which has blocks that players are actively looking for. It's a small thing, and you know, it's by far not the thing. It's a useful enough structure that it's not the first thing that people are thinking of, but it means that even if you don't care about the trial chamber, you would come and destroy it. You know, it's kind of great. Also, thanks, I'm pretty excited. Also, we got some more support in chat from people like Balo. Very nice. IBX do you know the commands to spawn in a snowy wolf on the Switch version? You can't pick your wolf via commands. You have to go to the biome they would spawn in, and then do it that way. It's a little bit messy, you might say, but it is how it is. So I've got too many bones. I didn't realize just how boned I was there. And now we just gotta go put our last items away. I think our char keys we can put in a big chest here. Or we'll take them out of the big chest here, actually. And then we'll just go deposit the rest of this on the other side of the world, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do for now. Actually, we don't need to deposit the trims. We'll put the trims back in here with the banner pattern, and that should be enough slots freed up that will be good. We just got to put this diamond chest plate over with the music discs, and then the heavy cores need to go somewhere special. I don't know where, though. Also, the enchanted apples, I think I store them in here. I've doubled my supply. I've got 6 of them now, chat. That feels kind of cool, actually. So yeah, it's nice to pick up some extra benefits while we're rolling around and doing stuff anyway. And I'm going to grab one more bad omen bottle, because it's going to be useful for today in particular. With that said, we can now go to the other side of the world, finish dumping my inventory, and then we can get to destruction. So last time I made the big mistake, chat, of not emptying out my inventory enough. I left far too much on me. And so today I want to make the opposite mistake. I want to go I want to go crazy in the opposite direction. It's going to be fun. So this is my first stream with this guy, so it's Jakari Watson. I did not expect to see he plays Bedrock Edition. I played Bedrock on both Switch and Xbox. The best thing about Bedrock, like for me, one of the things that whenever you don't, it's one of those things you don't need often, but when you do get it, it is so useful. So being able to play on any platform, you know, when Windows doesn't get an update, I play on Xbox. If I don't have my Xbox or a PC around, I can play my Let's Play World on my phone. Having access to the same stuff everywhere, you know, my same skin, my same settings, my same everything, it's so handy. And it's maybe a niche problem to have, but the fact that there is a niche solution is something that makes me happy. So, yeah, with that said, we always talk about bad omen and never good omen, says Des. So, chat, what effect do you think is the closest thing we have in Minecraft to good omen? Is it the potion of regeneration? Is it hero of the village? Is it the speed potion? Maybe it's haste. I would say haste is is pretty close to good omen. If such a thing can exist, it is haste, right? So we'll throw this projectile protection chestplate in here for now. It's kind of good enough, I guess. And then we'll also have to dump in my mace. Oh, the mace feels... I can't just put the mace away somewhere, but we're going to have to do it. I'm going to just find a good chest for it. Right now, I think that means I'll make a new chest over here, maybe. I don't have any space for a new chest, but we could make it. Or I could make this chest into a diamond sword chest. Oh, it's got too many iron swords in there. Okay, I guess it's new chest time. Mace is going to have to go somewhere. And just to prevent... Yeah, if I don't have any item frames on me right now, the easiest second thing we can do is say that, yeah, temporarily... Oh, that looks so weird when it's pointing upwards. Temporarily... How to attract vegans. Temporarily, what we can just do is throw that in there. And later, we'll replace this with that. Yeah, looks wonderful. And, yeah, we should consider bringing a sharpness looting sword of us. Could be kind of fun, right? Looting, sharpness, break... Like, 12 damage against the breeze might be important enough, but I'm not going to concern myself with that for now. What I will concern myself with is the extra utility items. So right now, this is important, but not very important enchanted items. And this is a crossbow chest, and this is an arrow chest. So I think if we just combine the bows and the crossbows, this chest has my OP crossbow. Or we could combine these two things together. I think we'll do that. I think mobility can make its own little chest up. And later we'll work out what else should go in here. Okay, sorted. So now we just have to get out of here. And maybe even put these discs away too. Big Salmon Energy. Hope everyone's very desert well today, says Jeeves. Hope you're desert well too. I've been having a very, like, slow day. But a very good one. I think a weird thing that probably tells you a lot about someone is the way that you react to, like, I don't know, free time. I think I'm fascinated a lot by hearing, like, what people do when they have genuinely free time. Because I don't know, like, the fact that I even say that, like, genuinely free time probably implies what I'm getting at. But one of the weird quirks of the way I work is I feel sometimes like my my favorite thing to do in off time can sometimes be a work task, and sometimes some work tasks are ones that I like need to do even if I'm. There's a weird blending that happens in it sometimes. But even I used to think that was like a job thing, right? I used to think, hey, thank you, Amandari.
Ooh, it's Monday. At least
Happy
there's
Monday!
A Toy Cat stream. It helps Monday not feel so Monday. Toy Cat tax.
Good job on 6,220 years late. Thank you, Brooke. And thank you, Amanda Ree, by the way. I'm glad that the Monday stream is making your Monday feel less Monday-y. This is, I think, 5 days in a row we've streamed. So 1.20 mus really is... 1.21 mus, I guess. Really is in full force. So this will just keep playing when we leave, right? We can just not worry about that too much. Yeah, let's not worry about it too much. Then let's grab a whole stack of beef. And then let's make just the last few pieces of... Oh, we got a lot of gunpowder in here. Oh well, let's go ahead. Let's make some fireworks. I love this song. So good. I feel like Minecraft music, like, even if you hate it, you gotta admit, they make some real good ones. But if you like Minecraft music, as I do, absolutely great. It's Stream Messenger Live. I always assume you work practically 24/7 from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep. You're doing something work-related. So yeah, I used to think this was like, oh, this is just like how YouTubers are, and I think that there are a lot more YouTubers who do work like that. I don't think it's like a good. I don't think it's anything you should ever want to aim for, by the way. But I realize, like, even when I give myself like allowance not to, even when I like force myself, I'm like, okay, you will not do anything that involves a computer screen or whatever today. Or, you will not do anything that relates to, YouTube and like, I feel like you need to have those days emotionally to recover. But I feel like the way people spend their off days... Also, the music's playing, but we can't hear it. That's so interesting, right? The way you spend your off days is a very interesting... So I'm going to grab an orange shulker box. And, I don't know, like another couple of purple ones. That way we can move the stuff out of the place faster. And then we're going to have to do something about this glass shulker box. I'll just put it in here for now. Hopefully Future Me remembers to do something about that, but, I'm gonna be honest, making things Future Me's problem doesn't always solve them. But yeah, so I think the way you spend off time is interesting, because I am the sort of person who's like, okay, I've got a day off, what exciting thing can we fill it with? Whereas, whenever, even if I like the idea of, let's have a day of literally doing nothing, that sounds like the definition of being dead to me. Like, oh, let's just, like, watch TV. Because I can only watch TV shows or read a book for, like, an hour at a time. Maybe, like, I could get, like, 2 to 3 hours going if I'm, like, like, if it's the end of the day and I've been doing a lot of stuff on something. But the idea of, like, giving up a whole day and being like, let's just play games. Let's just watch a movie. Let's just read a book. I feel like games are the closest I can get. Like, I used to be able to do that a lot. Because games kind of have a lot of different things within them, and you have, like, progression to... there's a lot of, like, achievement and accomplishment that you can get from games. I love fishing on my days off. It's relaxing just being with nature. See, right, one of my friends has gone really into fishing, and to me, I'm like, that sounds scary. That sounds Like, for some people, that sounds like the dream is like, yeah, let's just go out somewhere. But to me, like, if I wanted to be of nature on a day off, I'd have to be like, okay, let's go on a 9-hour hike. Let's feel like at the end of the day, we've accomplished something, you know? Let's feel at the end of the day, like we're further in the world than we were at the start. Also, love the cups upstairs. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. They sell wine glasses everywhere, though. I think most people don't use them this way. I'll totally concede that one. So, by the way, this isn't wine. This is Diet Pepsi, no caffeine. Big life-changing difference, by the way, switching out to the no caffeine version of Diet Pepsi. Wait, the no caffeine version of Diet Pepsi. I used to like drinking, you know, fizzy drinks, sodas. Where is my nether portal? It's somewhere up here. There it is. It's well hidden. Okay, let's hop into it. I definitely need to start making some tunnels between all these builds. This is why I started that before 1.21, but I need to work on it. Fishing isn't so bad unless it's ocean fishing. That stuff sounds terrifying. I just mean, like, you sit there and 90% of the time nothing's happening, right? I think wait, 90% is way underselling it. Like, 95%. Oh, so when I last had the bad omen effect, chat, I deliberately went here and activated all of the spawners. So I just have to go and finish them, and then we can get this going. So here is the project so far. We don't have any... We didn't bring any chests. That's fine. We'll just put another box down here. And then another box down in front of it. And then... Yeah, that's good enough. That works. We'll put another copper one here for the orange one. And yeah, it looks great to me. Yeah, honestly, the tough bricks are the one we need most of, so it's the easiest one to solve. So, can you destroy the spawners? You can destroy spawners. The question is whether you want to destroy spawners more than whether you can. So, yeah, one of the things that I'm going to consider today is exactly what I want to destroy. But also, I want to make sure that while we're destroying that, we get maximum use out of the spawners. I need to farm a lot of these keys, chat. I need so many trowel keys. But I also want to get the ominous keys en masse. Because I just did the maths today for the video of how many ominous trowel spawners I have to take down to get Windburst free like I want. You don't want to know, chat. You don't want to know. It was very, very it was scary to find out, is what I'll say. Ooh, absolutely brutal, by the way. Yeah, you don't want to know. I think it depends on the type of fishing. There's a lot of active fishing, especially fly fishing. Trust the vegan. Also, less than 100 bolts. That's a funny number you've got right there. Yeah, I imagine if it was only that, people would be able to live with themselves. If so, also this is so terrifying. You gotta admit, like, if you add knockback to a skeleton, they become one of the most dangerous mobs in the game. You actually have to think about fighting them. You can't just like run at them like you do most of the time. It's kind of cool. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get into the destruction today. I should have grabbed some more blocks. I was reminding myself to, and then I totally forgot. But before we, but during the destruction, like I said previously, I just want to make sure that I'm getting as many keys as I can, and that means just finding enemies and deliberately sneaking up on them and getting them dead, and hopefully getting as many keys as possible from it all. So I'm gonna sit here for a bit because this is where the baby zombies are at. Oh, I activated all of the spawners, chat. It probably wasn't a good idea in retrospect, but I did it anyway. Okay. I did it all anyway, and it's resulted in some pretty weird things. So I work in a serious job a week, so I use Minecraft in my free time. See, but I guess here's the question, right? Is like, could you spend an entire day doing nothing, right? Could you play Minecraft all day? And then at the end of the day, I don't know, you lose your world, and then it's like, oh yeah, but that's how it is. I feel like I've had this happen only once in my life. You know, like I lost the hardcore world after an entire day of playing, and at least I could argue, well, okay, you know, a lot of people watched the stream, a lot of people tipped, a lot of people who, you know, maybe only saw that as their first stream, so maybe it was good advertising. You know, I could like justify to myself, like, really, this was like. It's not that I achieved nothing today. I achieved something. It was just different than I expected to. Something like that. Whereas, okay. Whereas I think for, okay, there's so many skeletons. I don't even know which skeletons correspond to which spawners anymore. Because they're just all over the place. Also, yo, some nice background toy cat for the afternoon working, says Alex Valet. It is fun how sometimes, like, for some parts of work where you don't need 100% focus, it's so nice to have, like, some media on. Oh, we got a diamond chest plate! Oh, yes! Heck yeah. We're gonna get the full set of diamond gear we're not meant to have. It's gonna be nice, I tell you. So we just got a potion from this one. We didn't get anything from this yet, but that will change. Just give it time. And let's eat some more cooked beef and go finish up the rest of this. I need to do it within a reasonable amount of time. So that is what I'm going to try to do. Also, these spawners usually finish themselves off because of the... yeah, just like that. They usually finish themselves off because all the skeletons become strays. And that, funnily enough, does count as a completion, which I just think is great. So let's walk in here. Finish as many strays as we can. Okay. We can get out of here very quickly. And so that was good. So that should be the last skeleton from this spawning group. I have to assume. Let's see if I'm right. Polly E says, I'm trying to recover my only world now as I bought a new laptop to play Minecraft better and it hasn't transferred. Oh, interesting. So here's the deal. Minecraft doesn't store your worlds in the cloud. Oh, we did get a key. We got an ominous key. It was all worth it for this moment here. All the pain of being knocked back and forth over and over and over again. It's all worthwhile now. Okay, so now we just get out of here. And we're going to go finish the last trial over here. There's a lot more skeletons. Hopefully they go down without too much of a fight. So yeah, Minecraft doesn't store your world files. Every time you uninstall or reinstall Minecraft, i.e. when you get a new PC, you have to entirely... Sounds dumb, but you really do. Have to entirely... Oh, these are just regular trials. We'll do them anyway, but... Oh. Yeah, we'll do them anyway, but it's not going to go great for me or anything. I want the regular keys, so we might as well farm them as well. But yeah, so, like I was saying, sorry. Minecraft doesn't... Like, on Xbox, it stores that stuff in the cloud. But on PC, there is no concept of, like, your user data versus Minecraft. It's all just stored together. And when you delete the game, it all goes with it. Which is maybe how all PC games work. But it feels counterintuitive that Minecraft works that way. To me, at least. So that's why I mention it. Maybe it's counterintuitive to you. You have to copy your Google com.mojang folder. It'll tell you how to copy that over. You need to move that from your old device to your new device. Or you can just use a round. This is my actual solution. But yeah, I think being able to do nothing is like a real... treat to be able to convince yourself to do. I also feel like it's I know, like I don't know, is it something you can be jealous of, or is it the other way around, chat? Which, you know, if you think about it this way, right? There's probably a lot of people who are like, man, I just wish I had more time to give to be more successful at the works, or at, you know, the gym, or at whatever thing they're passionate about. But literally their body just doesn't let them go after enough hours. Like, you know, everyone has this point where it's like, yeah, you can't do this anymore. You don't know where that point is if you haven't hit it yet, but you have that point. You can't work all day, every day for the rest of your life. Like, everyone needs time off and days off and, you know, like, just time to be a human being. And so, I wonder if that... Oh, look, we got more diamonds here, by the way. See my point? We're just always piling them up. Always piling up diamonds. But yeah, we just need to take down the last spawners that we haven't gotten yet. And we also need to make sure we heal up our axe as we do so, or our pickaxe as we do so. So we kill this, and then we switch out, so it heals up to good thing. And now we walk back this way. We got a second ominous key. Heck yeah. You have to kill all these fellas. They're all hanging out together, which is handy in theory, but not in practice. Pick up that on my pickaxe. And yeah, nothing in there is going to give me a key. So we'll go to this last room that might, which is one over here, with the breeze shooting at me. I can play Minecraft, do nothing for the entire day straight, but not at all of my world water disappear. Yeah, would you feel like the day was wasted, I guess is my point, is if you played a Minecraft all day, enjoyed the day, and then at the end of the day it turned out that your world was leaked. So you enjoyed your day still, right? Let's just say you started the world that day too. Like, it's a brand new Minecraft world, you play it all day, but at the end of the day, there's some corruption, you have nothing to show for it besides memories. Maybe some pictures, let's say, too. But you just have the pictures and the memories, you don't have anything else. Also, we just got an ominous bottle. Wonderful. Oh, no, that's not ominous. It's just regen. Could have been something special. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Gonna eat down here. But, yeah, that's I think, the real question, Hack1MC. I'd love to know. My ADHD doesn't let me do nothing, but it also doesn't let me do things, says Brooke. Sounds like you're cursed on both ends there. You're gonna suffer one way or the other. You gotta pick which way you prefer. You know, that's at least being honest about trade-offs. Your brain is being there. Okay, so now let's finish this first room. Now that I've done, actually no, wait. I think we have to kill what, like 2 more breezes. Let's go in there. Make sure it truly is gone and done. There's a hidden breeze. I knew he'd be around here somewhere. Just finish him nice and good. I think this, as you can see, the breeze definitely takes too many hits for Smite Sword. If there is an argument for... Oh, okay, just the potion of regen. Yeah, I'd like an ominous bottle, honestly. I feel like I'm not getting many ominous bottles. I don't think you get them from the spawners anyway. I think it's from the vaults. And we can't go to the vaults in this place, because I haven't decided if we want to use the vaults, chat. I haven't decided. And so, okay, perfect. How do you put so much time into gathering loot and build, says Brooke. I think in response to the previous point about how you can't be allowed to do nothing, but you can't be allowed to do something. It's kind of a bit about, like, okay, we got copper. We've got to put copper in here. And we've got to go put the diamond chest plates we just got somewhere else too. Okay, lovely diamond chest plates in here. Oh yeah, we are really collecting a nice little set here. So this has protection 4, this is protection 4. This also has protection 4, wow. I didn't realize their armor always came with protection. That actually makes it pretty damn good. All things considered, right? And then we'll just put in here all the garbage that I probably shouldn't have collected in the first place, to be honest. And now we can be happy with our 2 ominous keys and our 2 regular trial keys, which I'm going to store back in here because we want inventory space more than anything else. Then put this away, and this away, and that away, and that away, and we filled up the chest entirely. But we've got back to a clean inventory, which is what matters. Okay, we are ready besides the breeze rods. Now I'm ready to go destroy. Okay, how long did that take, chat? What was that, like half an hour to be ready for the destruction? But now we're here, and I'm ready to do it. Breezes validate my decision to use sharpness. Yeah, to give credit, this is the first time I've been, this is the first time in Minecraft history where I'd say sharpness is a valid single-player enchantment. I'm just kidding. I feel like there are other situations, like, you know, the raid is pretty good at it too. But I felt like Smite was the lock-in single-player enchantment, and we're slowly moving back towards maybe both, maybe just sharpness. I would say sharpness for everything, and then Smite for the Wither is probably what I'd decide upon if I was basing it on current decisions. I think that's a really hard thing to, like, actually admit or know, is, like, if you were deciding based on your current situation, how would things go? Like, I think a lot of people... one of my biases that a lot of people share is this, like, sometimes you go into something like looking for information, but you have some preconceived bias about what you're going to find. You know, like, if you search up the if you just want to know, like, I don't know, are guns legal in this country here? As an example, right? You can go into that and you can generally come out that with a yes or no question. But if you're going into it because you're like, oh yeah, I want to know if guns are legal there because I want to make some point about, I don't know, the USA and how you know, they're the only country of guns, then you'd try to find the caveats about how it's not actually legal. Or if you were the opposite, if you're someone who wanted to prove that, well, America needs guns because look at all these other countries that have them that don't, you know, go shooting people all day, then you could be like, wow, look at all these other countries. And so, when you seek information, you immediately, like, come with this bias about, like, what you're trying to do with it sometimes. And I think one of the clearest cut versions of that is once you pick certain things in Minecraft, you know, like, there are certain decisions that once you make, you'll start to find things to try and justify them. Like, I don't know, I don't find making Minecraft farms fun. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that is my goal for the end game of Minecraft. I enjoy the building, the play. You know, I like being stuck in the mid to late game rather than the truly late game where I sit there and watch farms run all day. A lot of people really love that late game, but those exact same people who tell me they love it are starting new worlds every, you know, like 20 minutes. Because they're like, okay, for 1.21, we'll start a new world. And then halfway through 1.21, we'll start a new world. And then it's season 3 happening just before 1.22. But then when 1.22 which comes out, we're starting season 4, you know, like, some people have this, like, incessant desire that you've got to keep going again and again and again and again. Which to me, you know, to my sensibilities, says something about, just to show you what we're doing with all our stuff, by the way, we put it in here. I'm not going to be loading the chest this frequently. I'm just staying on top of stuff. And then I'm also going to be very clear that I want to destroy this section right here. Everything that's directly above me, this is all going to go so that this room is just directly opened into this room. So we're going to have to start by building stairs. Also, we have to start by killing skeletons, I guess. We can't really do this while there's skeletons above me. So we'll start by doing this. Easy first step. And then we'll start by making stairs into the room. Because right now, obviously, this room is higher than this room. So we need to make there be a gradual transition where that room starts and where this room ends. And that should be an easy, non-controversial thing to do. I appreciate those Infinite Minecraft seeds you posted 5 years ago. It'd be growing on that wild seed. It's insane. Yeah, if you'll believe it, 5 years ago, TA Francisco, every Minecraft seed had infinite mineshafts. So somewhere in my world, I have the infinite mineshafts. Like, I don't know where they are right now. But if I ever need to get a lot of mineshafts for something, I know I can just go and do that. Which is kind of cool, I guess. So let's go mine this now. Okay, this first room is so close to finished. I like that I left myself so close to a big milestone that we can get done and then start feeling good about. But now we just want to go up here, because I've got to destroy from the top down. It's easy to destroy from the bottom up, but once you get to the top, it gets really annoying and frustrating. So we're going to start this from the top, and then work downwards. And that is a better idea, I'm pretty sure. We can't destroy this wall, at least not that much. We'll destroy it to the point where we can. Maybe destroy both of these blocks, pick them up. Oh, we're going to pick that up later. Just destroy all of these. Anything that looks unnecessary, it's going. And so am I. So, are you going to be disappointed if the Afterlife doesn't have Minecraft says 0 rules? You know, I've got a real answer to that question if you want to hear it. That's one of the, I mean, that is one of the flaws of the concept, right? Is like, you couldn't call it heaven, you couldn't call it eternal paradise if it didn't have Minecraft. You know, if my idea of a dream day is playing Minecraft, then I can't truly be in paradise without it, right? And so, can you have it can't be a real version of heaven, you know, not in the sense of the religions of which I am familiar, unless it has, but at the same time, then you can make this same argument and say, well, you know, the thing I love most in the world isn't Minecraft. It's people. You know, it's all of you. Playing Minecraft means nothing if I can't stream live to my favorite viewers. Don't worry, it's my parasocial. Our parasocial relationship isn't that close, chat. I'm flattering you a lot. You know, could do about 70% of you. But you know, the other 30%, it would be terrible to play Minecraft but have no way to share it with the rest of you. And so, is it really heaven? If you don't have that, I wonder if people in heaven are also complaining about Minecraft updates. Yeah, you can go a step further, right? So, no, wait. We'll finish my point though. So, therefore, the thing I want most from my afterlife, hypothetically, is that I want to be able to stream Minecraft to you, then does that mean you have to die for me to have true heaven? Or is there a copy of you, a personalized copy of you in my heaven? Or does my heaven not begin until you're dead? Is heaven like in a place without time? It's a big question. I don't know I think, like everything in theology, it's not really about, you know, trying to find objective answers. It's about trying to question the way that you live and make decisions and all that noise. But it is something worth thinking about. Same thing about, like, okay, Minecraft updates. Can you have bad Minecraft updates in heaven? Is it eternal paradise if you end up with, like, 1.12 or 1. You know, imagine, you know, I don't want to scare you too much. But in heaven, you know, are you dealing with the fact that there's a Caves and Cliffs Part 1 and a Caves and Cliffs Part 2? And all the content except the fun stuff is in Caves and Cliffs Part 1, so you're bored of it by the time Caves and Cliffs Part 2 comes out? Because if that's true, you know, that's not fun. That could be done better. The reality, I'm sure a lot of the members are not in the 30%, says Xavier. I mean, I feel like statistically, right, the people who are likely to become members are people who are more likely to be regular, and the people who are more likely to be regular are people who are more likely to be tolerable. Because you don't generally hang around somewhere that people find it hard to tolerate you. I mean, some people, it's very rare. I think people, even when people are being really mean, they're still secretly hoping for some semblance of community. I think most people desire community somewhere in their lives. So I'm going to drop this lever on the ground, because lever just has no value. And so we're going to let that despawn on purpose. We're just going to say, goodbye, lever cap. I just need other things more than I need you right now. And then we're also going to start loading up. No, we'll finish this box here, or this chest here. So many tough bricks. And then we'll finish up this tough brick pile. And then we'll start dumping the other stuff away. I think I have another shulker box. I think this one should go to over here. I think this can be my weird, quirky blocks. Because I am... Oh, no, that's silly. I'm not going to do that. I'll move that over here, because I clearly need the space today. If I want to destroy without fear of anything else, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's do it. So now that we've destroyed this... Chat, would you say we've destroyed this main room yet? Or do you think... At what point do we say we've achieved that? The 30% who pay for his lobster sandwiches, says Evan Murphy. I've said it before, but the genuine, like, point is that in most... You'll find this almost anywhere on the internet. People who are willing to pay to be in a community, it sounds really unjust and unfair on some level. But what it really guarantees is you have people who care the most about the thing. And to some extent, you know, like, there's a tiny part of, like, ageism in there. It always sucked, like, as a child I had no money. It was like, there were lots of things that cost money that I had no access to. And even though, you know, I feel like I might have been a thoughtful individual, a really great contributor to some places where I might have been required to pay. Ultimately, being able to keep, being able to keep the demographics of people who are interested and also people who are adults generally means that you have a better club than average, you might say. Because, yeah, it's funny how many, like, if you ever go into, like, toxic, say, political spaces, let's say, online. If you ever go into a toxic political space, 98% of it is, like, 14-year-olds and 16-year-olds yelling about how, like, yeah, this one thing, literally killing, you know, like, using crazy extreme language because, you know, they've made it some part of their identity or their illness or whatever. And as a result, it means that a lot of... I think a lot of people really value... you know, if you were to sit people down and ask what they wanted, they would say, like, yeah, I would like a thoughtful, meaningful discussion. But then if you do what social media does, which is just to track what people want, you know, via preferences and all that stuff, what people are actually saying they want via the overwhelming numbers is, please feed me people jumping on each other and hating. So, yeah, with that said, I think I can't pay the membership because of Serbia, says wrote it. Exactly. It keeps out all the people who live in non-recognized countries too. That's why I wrote it, and Dasha. You know, we'll get someone from every non-recognized state on the planet. It'll be great. But yeah, I think that broadly speaking, my identity is that everyone else is a poopy head, says Dan Marsh. See, this is the thing. I would describe myself as broadly sympathetic to that view. I used to genuinely believe I was full-on misanthropic. Like, I hated human beings. I know that's such a weird thing to come out and say, and maybe I shouldn't be saying it. You know, maybe someone's going to get me in trouble for this. But I really hated human beings. I didn't understand how anyone could come away from, you know, like, a single interaction with another human. I remember the thing that, like, stuck in my brain is, like, I can't deal with people anymore, was a girl in class asking a teacher, how do you use Yahoo? I tried once, but it was too hard. You know, I remember Yahoo is the search engine, in case you're curious. I'm pretty sure. It might be an email. It's an email client and a lot of other things too. But it like blew my mind so much, and I was like, how can we claim that we like human beings when some human beings are like this, you know? And some people get that feeling from much more serious things than just someone being dumb. Like, how can we say we like human beings when some human beings, you know, blah, 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 insert thing here, like bomb this building or, you know, restrict your rights to do things that don't affect anyone but you, you know? Like, how can you have people out there who actively want you and your kind dead, or at the very least want you not to enjoy what you do, even if it's behind closed doors? They don't want you to be able to do that, and so why should you care about them too? It's a very easy stance to come by. The world feels like it's out to get broad swaths of the people who are living in it, and so rather than taking that as the world thing, or rather than taking it as like the system thing, you just go, yep, it's humans that suck. I've concluded, you know, what is the one thing that all of these systems and things have in common? It's the humans that run them. And so, therefore, what is the problem? It's the humans. I feel judged merely for existing, says Tristan. Yeah, you should feel judged. You're responsible for every bad thing that's ever happened, probably, statistically slightly. But yeah, okay, we're gonna throw this in there. More seriously though, Tristan, you know, I bet you're in the 30% of people who are here in my Heaven stream. You know, on the other hand, also Harrison says, check Discord. Okay, awesome. We'll do so. I've chosen to do 1.21 items. Oh. Okay, got it. Thank you. Very important. Let's find the file that Harrison's missing. Okay, so I think what I must have done. Oh, I see what I did. I see what I did. Okay, oops. I'll quickly check this is right. So chat, we're gonna have to watch a video temporarily. Like so, it's very fitting that there's a crafting table right inside there of it, but it's also fitting of the bad omen bottle to begin with. Yep, this is right. Okay, got it. Okay, so I accidentally gave Harrison 2 outros. Like, I gave him my first outro attempt and my second outro attempt. I say outro, it's like the second half of the video. Like 3 minutes or so. I gave him I gave him 2 outros rather than a start of the video and an end of the video. So, don't use the one that says use until 7:07. Yeah, the one that says use until 7:07 is incorrect. But that is what you should do with the file I just sent you, Harrison. Crazy by itself. You're going to need to grind. Yeah, I see what happened. Okay, we're good, we got it. Okay, every time I join your streams, I get thrown into a thinking about everything in our wild headspace. Says RXBY5. You know, if you don't get thrown into it here, where will you get thrown into it? Seriously though, it is something worth pondering, is why it is the world be that way, you know? And it sounds like a dumb thing to even question, like, you know, the world is a lot of broad systems together, and that's the actual conclusion you'll come to after enough thinking and whatnot. But there are so many things that just feel wrong. There's this deep feeling of, like, something being incorrect but not knowing what, that I think a lot of people have somewhere in them. And that is a feeling that equates to many things, and for me, like I said, I really define myself as, like, just broadly misanthropic based on it. Just broadly, I don't like humans. Any humans who aren't actively identifying that this is clearly not okay are themselves not okay. Was the bad logic set that I was using, basically. So we're gonna try and destroy this room next. I think it adds to the nice sense of destruction we get here. And so if we destroy... Actually, what is this over here? Is this just that room, but from below? Oh yeah, it's the staircase, but it's like way higher up. We definitely need to bring this down a peg. Can't leave that floating where that is. Is it just me or is middle school meant to stall people until the right age? Yeah, okay, so here's the scoop. My belief, right, as someone who just didn't feel like school was giving me anything valuable past, like, age 12. School is daycare so that adults can work more. If you don't have school, if we just, like, schooling takes up a huge percent of the budget for the country, right? It's got to be, like, one in £9 or one in $9 or whatever spent is used to fund schools. And so if you just logically work out, what if we just didn't do that anymore? What if tomorrow we just said, no more school? Well, one, you wouldn't actually get rid of schools. Like a lot of people who currently send their children to private schools would continue to send their children to private schools. So you'd actually just be, you'd be setting up a two-tier system. What if you banned schools? What if you said no one can go to a school ever again? Well, a lot of parents would have problems because they'd have to watch their children all day. One of the interesting kind of like requirements in our modern economic world is you go to work and then someone else goes to work watching your kid. That is a more efficient way to do things. The division of labor or whatever, like, the specializations that we all have says that some people are much better at raising children and some people are better at sitting in the factory all day. By the way, Harrison, did you get the file? Is it correct? In fact, I'll make sure I'll make sure I got the right outro for you. Because I feel like I tried it a few times because I got the numbers. I had to check that I had the numbers right, and they were very slightly off, so I had to redo it a little bit. So I want to make sure I got the file to you. That was great. Loitering would skyrocket. Yeah, so, I think, also, there's a lot of blocks down here. Oh, where's this come from? Oh, it's just around the corner from that. Well, let's destroy these blocks so that doesn't catch me off guard again. Well, if it wasn't school, well, it's probably impossible for society to get any stupider, so maybe it saves money. So, yeah, so Dan Marsh are kind of saying what I believed is like, yeah, why do we just bother with this? Like, why don't I just go out onto the streets and, like, hang outside of a corner shop all day or something dumb like that? But, I think that the biggest benefit that comes from it is the kind of daycare-esque aspects, as dumb as that is to say. And the second level effects of that are that we get a system where everyone understands the value of being told what to do. Or not the value, but everyone understands that that is a principle of, like, functioning in the world. A lot of things only work when, like, you could be cynical and call it hierarchies, or you can call it whatever you want to call it, but a lot of the world only works when we instill hierarchies of knowledge and information and distribution. Like, you can't have 100,000 people all just go to a hospital and be like, what are we going to do today? It's got to be that one person works out what are the broad goals this hospital needs to achieve, like healing people, hopefully, seeing a high number of patients, and doing so at a cost-effective value per person because there's cost to all that stuff. And then they need to hire people who are like, okay, you make sure that we hire the right people, you make sure that they've all got the knowledge, and and then those people need to go off, and like the person who needs to make sure they hire the right people is like, okay, let's find out what qualifications they need, let's keep checking up on people, make sure that they don't do, like that's in my mind, whether that is the only way we can operate society or not. With the broader world works based on giant hierarchies of someone tells you what to do, and in general they can be wrong, but whether they're right more often than wrong is not the point. But you follow their orders more often than not, and then that makes things work. If you don't follow their orders more often than not, a lot of things start to break. So it's kind of like instilling that inside of people. Also, thank you, Chase from Minnesota. Hope you're having a great day. Always a good stream to check during lunch. Just tried streaming on Twitch for the first time last night, and it was fun. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I did mention I think it's really good for your skills of working out what about yourself it is that is worth putting out there. Like it's good for helping you have that like brief extroverted moment or something like that. And hopefully you got that from it. Hopefully it wasn't a giant torture session for yourself. Excited for you, Chase from Minnesota. Because half the things we learn we forget unless it's in a career. Yeah, so like a lot of careers do have knowledge that you are required to get, but it always comes very, very late in the qualification process. Like if you are going to if you want to become an accountant, you have to be really good at maths, like, from, the year 1 to year 12 or whatever. But the point where you learn the stuff that is really important to not get wrong is the year of accounting school you've got to do, If you want to be if you want to work on a construction site, yeah, you need basic science and English and all that noise, but what you actually need to know is the things you do in the first 2 weeks of training before the job. Or, like, on the job, I guess, is quite common too. But that's the way the world really works in a lot of these cases. And so the school before that point is useful for two reasons. It's for giving everyone this, like, basic idea. It's like a shared understanding of the value systems which more or less run our world. But also, I think file is good, by the way. Awesome, Harrison. Okay, we're good. Yeah, so I think it gives you a good idea of the value system that runs the world, maybe, or it gives you an idea of like this, like, oh yeah, someone tells you what to do, and it's probably good for future you, and more often than not. But also, it gives everyone this shared set of common knowledge that can be quite handy. So everyone in the UK knows that Henry VIII had 6 wives, divorced, and you know exactly what happened to each of them, right? You know that he divorced 2, he beheaded 2. One of them died during childbirth, his favorite, and one of them survived. There were 3 Catherines. He had a real Catherine fetish going on in there. You know, these pieces of knowledge are shared, and that is good for the cohesiveness of society when it comes to like basic history facts or something like that. But one sec, I have to check my video. Very important. Let's go see which one's right. Okay, so bring feather falling. So that does seem like a fair forward to getting that on stream soon. With that said, though, this is it's the last file. So I think Harrison just left.
Minecraft videos every single day.
I'll just say non-named file is non-named file was the right one off the other 2. Okay, awesome. Now we go to here. What, Toycat, do you have a hardcore world? I can't wait for it on Bedrock. I'm kind of resisting making... I had a really cool idea for hardcore, and I don't know if I should wait till hardcore officially comes to Bedrock or start it a little early. But I have a real good one. Catherine's for the win, says Cat Beanie. I wonder why Cat.Beanie would say Catherine for the win. Must also have a Catherine fetish. A shared knowledge basis is really handy for society. Because, as you can see with, I don't know, like, insert current year election stuff, when we don't agree on even the most basic of truths, it's really hard to... Because, you know, we can disagree about values all we like, and we should disagree about values, probably. Like, it's important to work out which value set is best by letting them fight against each other. We disagree, we have disagreements about values quite a lot. But if we don't even agree about what a certain thing does, like, so for example, if you lower taxes, let's just say like income tax, then everyone should understand that the government will have slightly less money. You can have your own value judgment about whether the government having less money is a good or a bad thing. But if we don't even agree on that, if some people believe that, well, you lower the taxes and then the take goes up, then that is harmful for a debate. There is actually, funnily enough, actually, I picked a bad example. I think that one can, in some cases, depending on the taxes, a lot of people will, you know, if you, when they set taxes to 99% in the UK after, it's like 98%, I think, actually, after World War II, a lot of people's income started going down all of a sudden. And you could argue that a lot of people were just going down in money anyway, or you could argue that they worked out ways to avoid the tax by not making the money that would have them be liable to it. And so, but anyway, the point is to say is like if we all have a basic understanding of the facts, we can start to put our value judgments on those facts, right? If I don't know, like if we all agree that smoking is bad, then we can have a discussion about whether it's okay to do something that's bad for you in a society, especially one where we all pay for each other's healthcare costs. And we can have a discussion about that from like when people don't have to jump to the idea of like, actually, is smoking really that bad? I think it's more helpful. Okay, so we now have the spawners coming up again. We're going to defeat them normally, and then we're going to activate a trial element, chat. That's my plan. Let's make it work. We're going to kill the skeletons first, because they can kill me while I'm not trying to kill them. Every smoker I know regrets smoking. Yeah, I know a lot of... Every ex-smoker I know regrets smoking. Every current smoker I know is like, it's not that bad. Because why would... Like, there's such a... Also, no. There's such a jump... There's such a hole in the idea of why would anyone do something that's actively so harmful for themselves. And the only... People will even use that as logic. Like, well, if it's so bad, I wouldn't be doing it. Therefore, it can't be bad. You know, like, people use self-fulfilling holes. But that's with all the knowledge we have, right? If there weren't studies and there weren't baseline facts that we all studied in school about this stuff, then it would be harder to actually discuss what we should do about it. I know. So something I'm a real passionate thing about. I think there's a term for this. It's I don't like the term. I don't like it at all. It's called a wonk, but it's something that I have to admit. Also, supposedly the Beatles wrote the song Taxman because some of their income was taxed greater than 100%. I don't think it was greater than 100. I think it was either 83% or 98%. I think it was 83% plus there was a 15% like surcharge because of the World War II. The UK was broke for a really, really long time after World War II. Like, I think this is an important fact that we don't learn about. I don't know if it would make, again, I feel like there are value judgments you can apply to this. But the UK decided to get involved in World War II, you know, for semi-moral reasons, right? We were like, there are people doing really bad things and we can't let it be this way. So we got involved and we bankrupted we threw all the money we had and all the money we could possibly ever borrow and all the sources of money we could have in the future at, you know, this war, to the point where we went very, very, very bankrupt. We obviously, as a major nation, like, we had the US basically bankrolling during the war, but after the war was done, there was much less money being thrown at us. And so as a country, we had to work out, how do we do all the things that people want from, you know, because lots of people coming back from war being like, yeah, we've seen some stuff, I feel like we deserve some stuff, but also there's no money to pay from it. And so the simple answer was, what if we made income taxes 98%? What do you think? Oh, so whoa, where is the breeze coming from? Did I activate a spawner without realizing it? I guess I must have. So again, we're gonna farm them normally, and then we're gonna farm them ominously. That is the plan here, and we're gonna use it to heal up my pickaxe because it could do with the healing. Okay, so skeleton. Yeah, the skeletons are the easy ones. We'll do these first. Just easy stuff. No problem here. So yeah, the UK went like really, really bankrupt during World War II. And the only way that it could actually afford stuff is like, okay, so the Americans like they made really generous loans to the UK, but those really generous loans got very, very much less after World War II ended. And so we had to raise a lot of money to pay for a lot of stuff. But not only did the UK have very little money, but there was a huge sentiment, like the most socialist government the UK had ever had, because people were coming back from war saying, if you can mobilize the government to make us all fight to our own deaths and have us all have our possessions bombed, we can have a government that can give us healthcare or can, you know, work out how to build us houses. And so the government had to do those things. It had to work out how to provide everything for everybody while having no money to do so. And so that's why income taxes ended up at like 98%. It was like, we weren't questioning at all how is it conscionable to ask people to pay for this. We were just working out how can we physically pay for the things we want to. But as, you know, like as we discovered during the 70s, when that Taxman song was wrote, if you tax people at 83% plus 15%, you know, if you tax people at 98%, they just work out, you know, like with the exceptions of like artistic peoples like that, they generally don't want to make the money. And so the Beatles made a big old protest. They worked out how they could pay no tax by just not earning money. And so it was really bad for the country as a whole to have our #1 export say, yeah, we're not going to earn money, we're not going to pay any tax, and we're not going to be the huge, like, the UK worked out we get a better deal if we say to people, what if we take just over or just under half your money, and then you'll be motivated to do stuff, especially exporting overseas. Like the Beatles were, you know, like playing concerts all over the world, selling, well, I guess it would have been records all over the world. People were buying their stuff from everywhere, and by giving them a better deal, and then eventually everyone a better deal. It was a left-wing government at the time, but they realized that that's a better outcome for everyone. And then, like, later we kind of shifted back towards, like, you know, 60% is still a lot to take from people. And we went down to closer to 40%. And then during the, like, pandemic, we've kind of gone back the other way. Of like, you know, only taking 45% from people. Feels like we could be taking a lot more. So, Kat, did you get a 9 in GCSE History and Economics? This is the first time I've ever heard someone describe it as a 9. So 9 is the best and 1 is the worst. I got a G in history. So if I correspond that to your system, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I guess that'd be a 3. No, that can't. If it's 1 to 9, it can't be a 3. No one I've ever spoken to has heard of the grade I got in history. They made us do a lot of American history, weirdly enough. I wasn't very big in it, and they I got a really bad grade in history because I got a B on a couple of exams, like a third from top mark, I guess. But they were trying out something new for my year, just using us as guinea pigs for this new idea, because apparently, you know how it's widely known that exams are like sexist or whatever. I'd say widely known, but you know how exams are they create gender results one way and coursework creates gender results the other way. Like, for whatever reason, men do better on exams and women do better at homework or coursework or whatever. And so as a way to bridge that gap, they tried to combine the two systems together. And they're like, we're going to lock you in a room for 4 hours at a time, 4 times in a row. And then you've got to produce a piece of work that's equal to your entire grade. And so I think I was about 35 minutes into that. I was just like, no. My protest against the system, as I said, I was going through I had a whole thing about, at the time I had a very, very big thing, I would even say, about how dumb the whole thing was. And I just kind of realized that I didn't want to do this. I wasn't going to suffer for 16 hours for a history grade, which at the time, like, I don't know, like, if I'd have told anyone, they would have told me I was stupid, right? Like, why would you give up a great grade in history just to sit? Like, I had a really great nap, if you're curious. I wrote about a page during the 16 hours of, like, exam. Anyway, so, yeah, I thought it was so ridiculous, I just didn't do it. Never do a personal level protest like that. Usually you lose out and no one else, no one even notices. But point aside. So I don't have a good grade in history. They didn't even teach economics in school when I was at that age either. Sadly, fight the power. At some point you're not fighting the power, you're just fighting yourself. And that's what I would say I was doing there. But yeah, I thought it was so dumb. I didn't like the idea, but I was forced to do it because we needed to see if the idea worked. And it's like, I don't want to, just let me do the old way. So half of my grade was the old way, it was the very top. And half my grade was the new way, and I got 0 or something. It might not have been perfectly 0. It was so close to 0 that it might as well be though. And that was how it went for me. So let's mine through here a little bit. Just pick up a few blocks on the way. And let's activate these spawners now. It's fun. This is really fun that they fall basically to their death. That feels very easily usable. I just don't know how. And then we'll go do this room next. So this is an easy skeleton spawner. I haven't done it at all yet. Oh, and there's a spider spawner next to it. We'll do that one too. Or maybe we won't. It doesn't look like it's reactivated yet. I must have killed the spider too recently. Oof. So bad. Even without the ominosity, these really are quite brutal. Okay, nothing in there. There's the last guy. Give me a key. So, I'm going to use your stream as a podcast as I play Minecraft. So there's just another YouTube commenter. I'm surprised how many people do that. And I'm happy for you. Very much so. So, I put a cage in the trial chamber. Yeah, I think that's... Oh, wow. A lot of spiders. I should get sharpness just for this situation right here. Hey, cooked chicken. Just what I don't want. Okay. Spawn kill. Spawn kill. Spawn kill. Yeah, it looks like we can just about spawn kill prisoners. It's the dream in life, but it doesn't mean it's the reality. But yeah, I have a strong interest in those subjects. I think this is one of the problems with the broader education system. Is there's two very big philosophies that guide education, but the problem is that you don't know which one is correct. A lot of teachers are in the system telling you, just study what you find interesting. If you're passionate about it, you can work out a job later. And then there's the way more realistic thing of like, yeah, if you don't have at least a grade C in this and a grade C in that, you're not going to be able to get a job even at McDonald's. People would say that a lot, which I feel like is overly demeaning to McDonald's workers, but that's a point for another time. The thing is like, education is like both trying to say to you, this is meant to be a thing of passion, and then saying, no, 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 this is a thing of work. And I think the actual difference between those two systems is kind of class-based. Like, if you're in a really wealthy area, everyone's like, just study what you want. Don't worry about it at all. It will all work out. But you need to have, like, wealthy backing in your life to be able to just do what you want and hope that it all works out. And so, some people are following that set of rules, and some people are following a different set of rules. And that's why I think a lot of people don't realize, when it comes to actually having discussions about how to improve stuff like that, is that people are playing by two very different systems, side by side. Also, did we get an ominous key? Okay, we got baked potatoes. Not what I was looking for, really. But that's okay. Kill him. Easy. Okay, you spawned, but that's great too. Is another one going to spawn? No, okay, that means that's my last guy. Or the last two, maybe. So here's another one. Get him dead. Nice and fast. So, yeah, like I was, I live in Texas, so I'm not allowed to say my real thoughts on Dr. Pepper. Also, I cannot imagine what Dr. Pepper has done to you in Texas. I guess it's got to be something about barbecuing. Anyway, they should let us take classes we need for career in high school and middle school. Says Cinnamon Roll 046. Yeah, so that's... I think that one of the weird things about it is that what if you could... If you really knew what you wanted to do, if you were fairly sure, then it'd be kind of cool if instead of learning all this general stuff that genuinely doesn't apply to a lot of jobs, you could just jump to doing that thing that you wanted to do. But, I don't know. There's this weird thing where the world, we create this collective delusion where until you're 18, you can do anything you want to do. And then the moment you turn 18, it's like, okay, go work out what role you actually need to play in this society. You know, you can't just keep being a layabout forever, right? Like, you've got to go deal with yourself. And it's, I think it's a non-cohesive mix that even schools don't really know about what to do with. And that's why I think the actual problem, that's where I think the actual problem comes from. That's another ominous key, chat. Yeah, that's I say another one. I guess the other ones are in a chest somewhere. Let's go take down some more spawners. So we'll start down here with the skeletons. Looks like there's already some skeletons. Hope they don't come over here. Yep, they're definitely coming over here. But I've got other skeletons to kill them, so that will hopefully help me. Okay, yeah, we're doing fine. Everything's great. No issues over here. It started here in Waco, but I don't like it either. I have this real hot take that really, really famous brands that start in one place are never actually that good. By the time it goes mass market, it's never going to be the best brand from that one place. Like, I don't know, the most famous... I learned that the most famous Russian vodka is in Russia. But, like, the most famous Polish vodka is not the best Polish vodka. It's, like, it's the best mass market Polish vodka. Because being successful and being the best are two very different skills as a company. And so, yeah, I bet there's 100 different drinks that are way better than Dr. Pepper. Found in the exact same home place of Dr. Pepper. I'm going to die if I don't get out there soon. Let's go. Oh, there's so many silverfish. So much happening right now. I just want to get out of that. Not for me. Thank you very much. So then we'll climb this ladder up here. There's no ladder over there. Is there one on this side? There's no ladders. That's okay, though. I'll just climb. I'll make my own ladder on the side here. When you don't have a ladder, you can make your own, chat. That's probably deep. Oh, no, I can't get over that. Okay. So we have to start spawn killing really quick. I need to get out there. I'm trapped. No, chat. Chat, no. Why am I crouched? No, why did no? Oh. I'm still gonna die if I... That is such a waste of a... That was such a bad chain of events. The skeletons followed me up the ladder somehow. At the exact same time I got man. Bad chain of events. Okay, well now we have a spare offhand slot. What should we store in there, chat? What do we store in my offhand? I'm glad I had the totem, but I really didn't want to use it. But we have to go to sleep, so let's work it out. Dr. Pepper just passed Pepsi as the #2 pop. It's funny that you say pop. I feel like there's so many terms for sodas, fizzy drinks, beverages of the sparkling variety. Well, at least you had the totem. I would suggest getting another Scissormandery. Yeah, you know, there's a big part of me that knows it would be smart to get another totem. And then there's a part of me that goes, you know, what were the odds of me getting that close to death there, though? Also, did I use my ominous effect already? I didn't use it enough. I've gotta do better at that, clearly. Okay, so just keep on loading stuff into these chests. Honestly, I've got so few of these items that I feel silly even putting them in there. This is what you get for talking economics, Toy Cat. Communism killed the cat. Yeah, clearly. I shall refrain from doing that in future. So let's put my trial keys away. It's gonna be a nice collection we're picking up here. 14 keys and 4 ominous ones. I think I need about... I think I need about 300, we worked out. But I'm gonna wait until they hopefully fix it or clarify if they're going to fix it. What are you going to build with all the trial chamber blocks? Says Rolling Coaster B at Hershey Park. Why is that your username? I have plans. What I like to do, okay, I'll tell you this, Roller Coaster B. I like to do these recycling projects where I destroy a structure entirely and then build it into something else. I don't think I'm doing a perfect recycling job for this one. I want to use some copper elsewhere, but the majority of this I want to use to build something fun somewhere else. I think I can say that in confidence. And so I'm looking forward to doing precisely that. So let's go into this room now. And let's make... Oh, we actually did get an ominous key from it. So that was worthwhile. We lost the totem, but we got an ominous key. That is a trade worth making, if you ask me. And also, it's still skeletons attacking me. Oh, the strays. They don't even count as skeletons. The skeletons won't even count them as their own. So then we just need to get back up to there. And that is easier said than done. So let's not think about how we want to do that one. So we'll just ignore... Oh, wow, 2 ominous keys. Oh, yeah. That is what I'm talking about here, chat. That makes up for all the other terrible things. Totally makes up for it. Okay, so not really in the business of trying to kill you all. The fact that you're all here is not that relevant to me. I'm just trying to get my hands on that key. I'm just gonna climb up, make a little easy break, have a little crouch because it makes me shorter, and then up the top, here we go. Okay, so this is... Oh, a vault. Yeah, I guess we're gonna destroy the blocks around the vaults at some point. And then in we go. Let's just grab it. And we're out of there. So then we're going to break through this wall. And then I think we might have taken down one of these spawners since we were last here. No, we have not. We've got to finish them both. And some of the skeletons are there. Some of the spiders are there. But it's all just fine. If you rebuilt somewhere else, what block would you use as a stand-in for the spawners and the vaults? So I think you could do something really silly and really fun if you wanted to. You could build it around a mob spawner, right? You could take an old mob spawner in your world and make it look like it was a trial chamber. I think it'd be pretty cool. It's, you know, I'm just saying, if you wanted to do that, one of the ideas you could do. So, yeah, just gonna kill you. Oh, there's more spider. How did you get over here, spider? You really weren't meant to do that, just so you know. And so I'm slowly just melting the snow. Not even trying that hard. You're destroying it? Yeah, I haven't even gotten to one yet, or gotten the map due to my cartographer being killed by a zombie right after I got to level 3, says the power player. Oh yeah, I totally recommend doing it all at once to prevent that. Villagers are so fickle. Like, it's really hard to protect a villager enough. Obviously, this is too late of advice. But, oh, another key! Whoa, good luck. Heck yeah. The definition of luck and perfect. So, there looks like there's another spider around here somewhere. Let's just fire. But there must be another one for it to be complaining about this one. So, does anyone see a spider? Anyone seen it anywhere? Over here, maybe? No? Oh, there he is. Okay, last spider. And if we get another ominous key, that'd be really, really great. Be really quite something, wouldn't it? And that's just a straight. Hanging out down there. No issue. Okay, so let's climb. The fact that there's no ladder really is wild to me. How are you... I guess I destroyed the ladder, actually. I think there was one. I think I'm complaining about something I might have destroyed. So I'm actually going to... I'm going to chill on the insults. I'm going to say, oh, yeah, that's probably a good design decision you made, actually. There's still another one required. I'm just never going to do it. I'll just concede that. It's never going to happen, so I don't have to worry. So now we'll come back over here. And we'll get back to destruction, although it's nighttime again. so we're not going to get that much done. But let's tear it apart anyway. This whole area is going down, and that starts at the ceiling. Oh yeah, it's very, very messily done already. But we can work on that. We can fix it together, chat. So yeah, I watch your Minecraft videos all the time. Thank you, Rollercoaster B at Hershey Park. I hope that you are looking forward to seeing the recycling of this. It's something that I am looking forward to doing a lot. Like I'm trying not to tell myself that that's the important bit. I'm trying to tell myself the destruction is the best bit. And you know, there in some ways it is, in some ways it isn't. But yeah, one of the really cool bits about a project. I was so sure it was dark. Am I wrong about that? Am I just not getting enough light in here now? But yeah, one of the fun things about a project like this is that you get a bunch of. I'm looking forward to the rebuild phase, but it is also fun to destroy. Just there's a part of me looking forward to the next part too. But sometimes in life you need that, right? The anticipation. If I dropped you right now into the world's nicest restaurant, like a 5-star place where every dish is £500, I don't think you'd enjoy it as much as if, someone hyped you up for a week about like, oh, you hear they do this, you hear about the Michelin stars they got, you hear about the waiter wakes up at 2 a.m. every day to memorize his lines, and whatever dumb things someone might tell you. I feel like there's more excitement in the anticipation sometimes. I try to, it's a weird problem to have, to be like, oh yeah, I've got all these nice things, but I'm just not excited enough to use them. But I think that is the thing that ultimately gets very, very, very wealthy people, is ultimately no matter how much money you have, if you're not excited to spend it, if it doesn't feel like a fun treat, then it's not gonna be a fun treat. Like the dream of like, the whole like, if you win the lottery, you think that, oh, every problem you have would be solved. But the fact that we've seen, there are so many people who win the lottery and they don't solve their problems. In fact, their problems get a lot worse, is kind of proof that actually, yeah, no, the having a lot of money thing is a really nice goodbye to some problems, but a really big hello to some other ones. Which I think the most succinct way, the thing I really think about as I try to navigate, like, what is it? If I was to, I don't think I've ever won the lottery or anything, but if I, compared to my upbringing, I have more money now. I feel like I am more comfortable than I was during the time being raised. When you win the lottery, tell no one. Yeah, that is the most important thing. If you come into a significant sum of money, don't tell anyone for a while. Like, work out a very small list of people that you think you can trust, and, then whittle that down some more. A lot of people change when they think that you have money, because all of a sudden you have the answer to some of their problems. And, it goes from being... It's a weird thing, but it goes from being the, oh yeah, you are a person they know, to you are a person who could solve every problem they have. But yeah, I think so one of the things I try to think about is I'm like, okay, what is actually important? And if money doesn't solve everything, it solves a lot of things, which I think everyone needs to clarify, by the way. Like, when people who say that money can't solve problems are like, like, it can't solve all your problems. It can just solve a lot of them. But I think the two underlying problems that aren't solved by money or by, like, the adjacent to money things, like health, etc. I think it's kind of down to, like, like the broad thing you want in the world is happiness. When I was a depressed teenager, the thing that I really, like, honed in on as, like, being important to me is, like, it would just be nice to be happy. And you feel like you can buy happiness, and there are some types you can buy. But more beyond that, even, it's like, I think the real definition in the long run, the things that are hard to replace no matter what else you have, are, I think, like being comfortable and having friends, having people who are there for you through the good or the bad. Like, it sounds like it's not a big deal until you have some bad. Like, having someone who is there, having people who are there, even when things are bad, very, very, very important thing. But also important, I think is being actually healthy, is being able to enjoy the best of a thing. I think there's this light that goes out in people. Like, I know there's a bit of a dark thought here, is that, like, we like to imagine death as being a binary thing. I've imagined it my whole life as, like, you're dead or you're not. But actually, there's a whole, like, phase in between where you're going in that direction, right? Where the light's going out or whatever. And I think that if you have the energy to do things, that is a huge, huge, huge part of your life. Obviously, it's naturally going to go down, but if you can maintain that health and that energy and that ability to continue doing things that you want to do, that ability to manifest your... Also, is there a dispenser that we need to turn off? I think... it's funny, I better breeze turn this on in my last fight. Okay, just turn that off. Pretend none of that happened. I agree, friends are crucial for your well-being. Yeah, like relationships, and I would say you could go more broad and be like, yeah, relationships. You need to have people who know and people who care. I'd be obvious if I won the lottery, as I'd always have plenty of petrol in the car, says Ruby do. One of my maybe this is the real flex. Whenever I do have a car, I don't even think about the petrol in the car as having, like, okay, so again, hear me out here, right? Whether or not you fill up the car... Oh, I just lost a few blocks of copper there. Whether or not you fill up the car, you're using petrol. So, if you think about money as being literally just physical items that you have, you know, like the money in your bank account as being your money. If you think about money that way, then your car only costs you money to fill up every time you go to the petrol station. So I try to think about it as the petrol in your car has a value. If you sold the car with a full tank of petrol, it's worth £50 more than if you don't. You know, there's dumb stuff like that, right? It's hard to extract that value, but the value is still there. And so every time you drive the car, it costs you, you know, like £5 per gallon or whatever your thing is measured in, like £1.43 a litre. You know, it costs you money every time you use fuel, and you use fuel every time you go anywhere. And so if you just think about it that way, it's like the money cost is just, you know, like it comes in big batches, it looks like. But actually it's just, you know, that costs you £1 here, £2 there, and now you've got to pay for it. It's just paying for some debt that you've accrued. To me, that makes it feel better. Maybe that makes it feel worse. It's like, I'm not even paying money for right now usage, I'm paying money for yesterday's journey. But if I was rich, I'd ask Mum how much more money it would take to stop harassing me. Would certainly make me happy. I'm really sorry to hear that, Ad and Sony, that you have family issues. That is one of those things about why relationships are important, right? A lot of people say family is important, like it's the only answer to having meaningful relationships. But the truth is like, in the same way you can have friends and family who will screw you over for money, in the same way you can have friends that can screw you over money. You can have family. They're half of friends and family. And it feels really brutal. It feels like it can't possibly be true, but sadly it is. I don't know. I've got a very, very, very minor version of this that came out of my the death of my mother recently, and it's just so disheartening that some people have like no conception of like, oh yeah, that is not my money, therefore I should not have it. There's some people like, oh, the money has appeared in my account and now it is gone, and now it is my money, and I do not understand the moral obligation of giving that to the person who's, you know, there's dumb stuff like that, right? And I remember the first time, I don't know, like a friend of a friend lent someone some money and then didn't get it back, and the person then like I know, like asked me for some money while they were doing something that was like not expensive but like wasn't free. And I was like, man, I don't understand this idea that you are so badly, you know, to me the idea of being in debt is like, this is a problem I need to solve right here, right now, as soon as humanly possible. Some people are like, nah, it's just how it is. But I think that's one of those differences, which, you know, some people would say like, nah, your version's uptight, like money comes, money goes, etc. But it's like, no, it's a literal accountable thing. It's It doesn't do that at all. No, we call it petrol. I would just use up the money and ask for more. I would use up the money and ask for more. Yeah, there's a story in my life about that. About I tried to have the big. I used, you know, yeah. I'm not gonna. I tried to have the big moment where I paid off a family member's debt to just like solve their problems, chat. And you know, like usually the stereotype is, you know, they solve, you know, as soon as you solve someone's money problems, they'll get into some new ones. But it was literally like a day later that after like having solved all of the every single piece of you know, like credit card debt and every debt, like just like I was like, let's get a spreadsheet together, let's work it out. Like I put a lot of like emotional time into this as well as a lot of money. And then literally they're like, oh yeah, now we've got a bunch of free credit. I just found out today, got a bunch of free credit cards, and so now we can go on a holiday to the camp. It was the most ridiculous thing. It was one of the, it was like almost like a TV show moment, right? Like, oh yeah, you've just put this huge effort in, someone's really thankful, they're finally free of debt, and then they load up on debt the next day, and you're like, oh, that was just, that wasn't anything at whatsoever there. Gordon Ramsay almost died a little while ago, says Ancient. Yeah, a lot of people are real, I've heard a lot of people sharing that one. I think it's interesting how much of an impact he clearly has on people, that's like, you know, I feel like a Gordon Ramsay death would be a big one. So even a Gordon Ramsay near death is like one of the talking points of the internet. I don't understand people who have money but won't pay debts or bills. Well, I mean, if you think about it, right, also, wow, more see, look at this, chat. I'm just rolling in the diamonds. You know, too many diamonds. So, I had a family member pass recently. He gave everything to your kids. No drama involved, unless they didn't deserve it. Oh, there was a really messy thing about, you know, I'm not gonna dive into something fun that happened, but there was a really dumb, messy thing about the way that it existed. Like, if you die with negative money, it means that whole fun thing. Anyway, so something I learned about that, by the way, just as a small aside, here's something really useful. In the UK, if you die of credit card debt, they just wipe it out. Even in most countries, I looked into a few, but in most countries, if you die of credit card debt, your estate has to pay the credit card back. Like, you know, like, if you think about it, right, like, if you die with £5,000 and £5,000 in debt, you didn't die with any money. But in the UK, you die with £5,000. You get to keep that money, your estate gets to keep that money. Yeah, but there was no money. Just to clarify, if you're curious, if this is about a recent situation with me, there was no money involved with it. There was something else that happened where there was a important situation that was meant to be dealt with that had money attached to it that was maybe not dealt with. Yeah, I might need to go check it out. He follows me on Twitter. Oh, you got Gordon Ramsay. Wow, that's important. If I have a month to live, I'm getting some credit cards. Oh yeah, so that genuinely one of the takeaways from that is everyone, even if you really don't agree with credit cards, get a credit card and then like cut the card up and then like lock your account down and all that stuff. Because getting a new line of credit is hard, but reactivating an existing line of credit isn't impossible. So if you, I have a, it's also really good for your credit score to have credit cards, even if you're not technically using them. So I have a credit card from 2011, chat. If you're curious, it used to be like an airline co-branded card, but they lost the rights to use the airline's co-branding. And so I tried to cancel the card, but it just took too much effort, so I didn't. Because it used to have a very tiny annual fee. They removed the annual fee when they removed the airline co-branding. It's a card you can't sign up for, so it's like this rare, unique, weird thing that I have. But I just cut the card up. I made the account as hard to get into as possible, lower it, and now I have access to a credit card. If I'm ever about to die, I can just spend on it, and it literally is an infinite money glitch, unlike the internet. So one of the reasons credit cards are so expensive, you know, sorry to be the responsible adult in the room, is because the reason, if you've ever looked at credit card interest, you know, the prevailing interest rates in the country are about 4 to 5%. If you look at the rate on a mortgage, it's like 5 to 6%. The bank makes about 1%. They make a bit more than 1% because they get their money in a different way. But the point here is to say there's about a 1% gap between that rate, you know, the prevailing interest rates, and what a bank charges you on a mortgage. There's maybe like 2 or 3% on a car, because a car's riskier than a house. You can repossess a house easier than you can repossess a car, at least in terms of getting the money back from it. You can repossess a car easier, I assume, but it's not going to be worth very much. But anyway, the point here is to say that the interesting difference there is that credit card debt is like triple the prevailing interest rates, because you don't just have to pay back your money, you have to pay back the money of everyone who goes bankrupt. Credit card debt goes with you when you die. Bankrupt as well as dying, as well as people who just decide not to pay. This is the craziest thing. This will blow your mind. You can just not pay off debt. You can just it is a trust point in our society that you don't take out debt you have no intention to repay. They can make your life very tricky for you if you have the money to repay it and just choose not to. But if you genuinely don't have the money to repay debt, it's very hard for them to do much about it. You know, all the things that you figure they could do are basically illegal, so they rely on the implicit making you want to do the right thing. And what's crazy is that works. For a lot of people, they do the right thing, but for a lot of people, it doesn't. A lot of people here, haha, they think they think I'm going to do the right thing. Well, they're idiots then. And so, yeah, as a result of that, basically, credit card debt is very, very, very expensive for everyone else. And so there's a little bit of positive and negative. If you put channeling on a mace, you would just hit yourself. Yeah. It's such a funny idea, putting channeling on a mace. Oh god, this was a bad idea. They can turn it over to a collection agency. It says roller coaster beat. Yeah, so then what does a collection agency do when they have it? They try to collect from you. But it's like what's the phrase? You can't get blood from a stone. If you have no money to give, if all of your outgoings are already accounted for on things that they're not allowed to take from, they can't make you homeless, for example. They can't, like, you. It is a very, very, very interesting system, is I guess my point. And for good reasons. Like, it feels inhumane to take someone's roof over from their head, but it means that if you are using the system in a little bit of a less than desired way, then free money glitch, infinite money glitch. If you just feel like that, and so that's why there are checks before you apply for a card. They're still very minor though. The idea is that if you borrow, oh, I'm getting a lot of buzzers. I hope it's not the weather again. Be so mad if it's just the weather again. Okay, who is it? It is. I got a spam email. I got a. So it was an important email from a makeship. We're working on something together. Followed by a spam email. It said, "Your bank has been misused. Click here to find more." Oh no, my bank has been misused. I better find that one out. This isn't financial advice. Because I'm not a credit broker, I'm allowed to say this is financial advice, and it's up to you to know that. No way. Yeah, let me give you financial advice, everyone. Okay, get into all the debt you can, and no, yeah, it's up. Here's the thing, though. I think most people, the whole like, oh yeah, you'll feel bad if you don't do it. Even people who think that doesn't apply to them, it does. It's like, even if you think that killing someone wouldn't make you feel bad, I bet you'd feel terrible. There's a reason most people don't kill people. And it's not the lack of weapons or whatever. Yeah, I think most people would feel. Oh, okay, we finally got to take down these skeletons now. Go crazy. Are we click at makeshift flush? Yeah, it's something fun. It's been a really long time, and a lot of people have been asking me like, when are we gonna do it? So I've been putting the leg work. You know, I've been putting in the leg room. Hopefully you appreciate the leg room. It's definitely happening. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Hopefully other people are too. If they're not, then, you know, my whole existence is worthless. So speaking of that, I think someone's trying to use you for an infinite money glitch, says Chillisbean13. Have you ever had the logic that scams are so bad on purpose because they're trying to catch people who aren't like savvy enough to catch that it's a scam? Like if you send a normal scam email, people, you know, like people will find out it's a scam real fast. So you deliberately harvest people who are like emotionally vulnerable or whatever. I've heard that logic so often, but it just doesn't sound to me very plausible. Like surely a good scam would work on an idiot as much as a, you know, I don't know. Maybe there is some truth to it, and I've not heard the best logic for it. Oh my gosh, thank you. I used Realms to transfer my world, and it worked. Hey, happy for you. Congratulations. You are now more Minecraft than you were recently. So I'm going to destroy the entirety of the floor of this room now. I think it's a good next... No, we'll destroy the floor up there first, and then we'll like, carry it down here. And then, yeah, this whole room is coming down too. I've heard that yet. No clue if it's true. I'm such a cynic by nature. If you tell me basically anything, I just don't instinctively believe it. Like one of the reasons why is so much knowledge doesn't spread from person to person because it's true. It spreads from person to person because it feels true. And that sounds like the same thing, but it's such a big difference and so like the number of times I've shared something, like, you know, I've heard something that's fake, and then maybe if I've shared it with someone else, I'm like, I am part of the misinformation. It is my duty not to be like this. And so I try very hard to, like, when I hear something that sounds like there's no reason it wouldn't be true, I'm like, but what are the reasons it wouldn't be true? So, speaking of infinite money glitches, should we use the term infinite food glitch to get the younger generations into agriculture, says Bearded Man. You know, it is crazy when you think about how if you have one piece of most vegetables, you can get as many of those vegetables as you like forever. If you just have if you have a single McDonald's burger, what can you even do with that? You can eat it, or you could, you know, the whole you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have your McDonald's burger and eat it too. It's a one or the other situation with that. So now let's throw these in there. I've got a lot of lingering potions of poison ready to use. Yeah, I think, what's the goal after destroying the chamber, says Ko Tao Kyle. I have a fun reconstruction project. This is a recycling project. So I'm taking the entire structure and destroying it, but it will be turning into something else too. So that's where it's going into. If it comes with tomato slices, maybe you can get some tomatoes. You know what? That's actually true. Yeah. I would love... That seems like a fun project video, right? Like, take a McDonald's burger and see what you can grow from it. Can lettuce regrow into other lettuces? Onions definitely can't because they're going to be processed. But the tomato is usually... It's going to have seeds at the very least. No IBX Toycat, I don't want Woodland Mansion 2.0. Yeah, so because of the Woodland Mansion 2.0 was me going a little bit too far. Also, good reference. You have been around for a while, I wrote it. Good to see you here after all of these years. Yeah, it's a very old reference right there. So yeah, with that said, let's now... Oh no, that was the one block I couldn't destroy. Put that back, and then we can destroy this whole layer over here. Anything we can, right up to the points where we can't is where I want to go. So we'll destroy this too, and oh no, don't destroy this. Okay, so we're gonna have to deal with this water sooner rather than later. But I'm gonna make that future me's problem, and you better believe I already have. Okay, so this is a problem too. Patch that right up. And here we go. Yeah, more or less good. We've destroyed as much of this as we feasibly can. And now we just have to pick up all the garbage on the ground. And yeah, we got a whole nother section removed. I'm gonna have to be very, very, very... I'll start destroying this from the top down from where I can. So, back this block here. This is what I can destroy from everything. I'll make a big line in it to make that really clear. Anything to the left of here counts as this chamber, and so it's fair game to destroy. Anything to the right of here, I guess, now is this chamber to destroy. That part is something else I'm gonna have to keep for a little bit till I come up with a better solution. Sounds good to me. So destruction time. Let's go. I'm definitely destroying far too much of the wall by accident here, but it's fine. You know, I'm saying it's fine. That's how you know it's fine. And here we go. We're good. Woodland Chambers, says Dasher. Honestly, that is a pretty cool idea too, right? What if I take the What if instead of doing a traditional recycling project where I put it all into one build, what if I take it all across the Minecraft world and put it into weird different builds? So what if I made a trial chamber inside my woodland mansion and around a spawner and put one around the end like I was originally planning to do? Chat, I think I might be onto a winner right there. I think that's such a good idea that nothing could possibly be bad about it. Okay, so all the way into this corner. We've got the ceiling down, and so we're good to go. Something I was curious about is how long has chat been watching Toy Cat? Chat, what was the first Let's Play episode you watched? Mine was the Paranoia House. Oh, the Paranoia House. I can't believe that was someone's first Let's Play episode. In my mind, the vast majority of my videos, like, no one ever finds. I feel like almost everyone finds the channel because of some news video or some all features video. You know, there's a few videos a year that really do outsized impacts for that sort of stuff. Found you like a month ago, but you chill, says Swagmoth. You gotta measure by Let's Play episode. The last video I remember was the giant sandstone car. Oh, the giant man, that was beautiful. That is the best thing that anyone has ever made. If anyone tells you otherwise, they are misguided. Best Minecraft build ever. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and look at this now, just from this little corner over here. And we're gonna see that, yeah, it's looking really messy, the destruction. I think that'll help once we get further into there. But right now it looks like it's kind of just torn apart semi-randomly. And that's not entirely because it was torn apart semi-randomly. It's only partially the reason to blame. So buttons and that, and now we're running out of blocks that can go in here, but it's a-okay for now. Put these in there and these in there. Look at all the wax blocks of copper. You're gonna build up before we know it. And so let's get into it. I typically watch streams, not videos, but I've been watching semi-regularly since 2020, says Daft Ricos. So if you watch the streams and not the videos, that is an interesting demographic that makes you. Statistically, there's a fun thing where I just checked this today because I wanted to see. I'd say I wanted to see, like, in the last few days, what % of my views have been shorts versus longs. And at the same time, YouTube tells you shorts versus, you know, videos versus live streams. And so just out of curiosity, I was like, okay, so how many... I was, you know, just for curiosity, I wanted to know, like, how many people watch my live streams? New versus returning viewers is the stat they give you. So they tell you how many people this is their first, you know, thing on your channel, and how many people this is, you know, they're coming back to watch it because they liked something they saw in the past. And so for YouTube live streams, it's overwhelmingly people who already watch the videos, who watch the streams, whereas YouTube Shorts are obviously the reverse. About a surprising number of people watch YouTube Shorts who already watch the YouTube channel. That's kind of not how I expected it to be. Like, in my mind, like, why would you? But it's a demographic of people. And so, oh, give me a key, please. Yeah, perfect. Now I've just got to not die to the big chain of skeletons coming my way. Pick up the get this pickaxe maybe all the way to max. Yeah, I'm very data driven as a person. I try to. I'm very aware of the errors that come when you make decisions based on emotions. Like, emotions are not just a bad way to make decisions, but they're not even if you were deliberately trying to make emotional decisions, you wouldn't do a very good job because emotions change so much. They're like very, very unstable, I find. It's like the whole point about emotions is they change. If you feel one emotion for an extended period of time, that is a bad sign. Pro tip, sorry if anyone's hearing that and they're like, huh, that's something I should think about. But, okay, I've got some bread, I've got a lot of accidental stuff. I'm just going to drop it on the floor here. I don't need this cobbled deep slate. I don't need this rotten flash, or this arrow of slowness. Let's get back to the destruction I enjoy. My primary emotion is badass. As a subscriber, I'll click on a short if you post one. I also haven't had a house fire, so there's that. I still have the email, but I'm at a loss what to do, other than never read buy comics. Warn others of soy allergies, of course, says Rose Pentacle. You got a soy allergy from a comic? What the... I don't know what I just missed there. You said earlier in the stream, though, Rose, that you felt like you were depressed, you hadn't showered in a week. I feel like... it's a very common thing to hear, like, oh yeah, like, doing basic upkeep is hard when I'm depressed. I don't feel it on that level, but I definitely have like multiple days a week where I'm like, it'd just be easier not to shower. I don't even know if it's like a. It's definitely not a. It's not a thing that comes from a place of like, oh yeah, I just don't think it's worthwhile. But it's like this is such a huge cost for such a, you know, like being cold after a shower just sucks so bad. It isn't a fun feeling, and it takes 10 minutes out of your life, and then you have to go, you know, find clothes. It's like a whole section of your day that you just give up every day mindlessly without question. And that's like my kind of like thing that I come out with it. On the flip side, if you feel no emotions, see a shrink. Yeah, you. In my mind, you should see emotions, but then try to counteract them. If you're making emotions based on those decisions rather than based on the facts that are in front of you, that is a bad sign. That is something worth trying to avoid, at least. Who's to say if you're ever going to be successful at it? So, next up, we're going to probably tear apart these platforms, I guess. Yeah, they're kind of just hanging out up there. They need a good tearing down. Marby's sorry happy about it, sewing is a blessing because it takes so long to dry. Oh, interesting. I'm sorry to hear about that. Yeah, I think one of the most common problems is like the lack of. I think, you know, like there's a lot of people on the internet who use a lot of words to describe what are in theory a lot of different things, like you know, depression, anxiety, and or even having like an undiagnosed condition of this type or that type. And a lot of people share this feeling that everything is wrong with the world, but it's not wrong anymore because now they realize it's the world's the wrong. You know, it's not that the world was wrong or that I was wrong. There was just this thing I didn't realize about myself. And I think that's really helpful if you can find a moment like that. But I think what they all ultimately kind of preach, it's like what people used to get from, you know, like certain religions or community things, of like, it's really just nice to know that you're not alone, and it's nice to feel like you are the one who is, it's nice to feel like you have agency in the world. I think one of the things we all share as we play video games here is enjoying feeling agency. It's enjoying feeling like our decisions matter. And if there's anyone who's watching this who's, I know, identified with any of that, I think it's one of the hardest things to do, but one of the easiest ways to get that back is genuinely like setting yourself a schedule and trying to get yourself to stick to it. If the schedule is too hard, if you find yourself not sticking to your schedule, then try changing the schedule to a more realistic one and working your way up. Like, a lot of people are like, yeah, well, I'm not going to bother with a schedule if it's not perfect. And it's like, well, sounds like you've got a problem with perfectionism, which is a problem. You know, like if you'd rather do something perfect or not at all, and you end up doing it not at all more than doing it perfect, that's a problem. If you end up doing it not at all, really very much at all, that's it's a very big problem, I would say. Yeah, depression's that way for me. Sometimes it's like I can do homework or self-care, and some days I can do neither, says Rhino. I'm really sorry to hear that. I think that's exactly why I think it's important to be like, rather than having some days where you do self-care and you feel like you're neglecting, you know, work you're meant to be doing at home, and rather than having days where you feel like you're doing, you know, all the work stuff right, but you just don't feel like you're looking after yourself. That's why I think it's important to try and like rigidly work out like, okay, if I did half the amount of this day, and if you try to fit it into a schedule, it all feels much more doable. And knowing that you were the one who made that schedule gives you a lot of control and a lot of feeling of like you are the one who you are actually getting it done. And on a day where you miss something, if you're just like, okay, here's how I do it better in the future, feeling like everything just happens to you rather than because of you is like a terrifying feeling. And there's like so many like simple things you can do to fix that, or not fix it. There's simple things you can do to abate it, which is what I'm vaguely recommending here. So I'm going to fill this with the weird blocks. I'm going to take the chisel tuff from this and all the chisel tuff from this, and we're going to load it into here just so we can have the these lining up in specific blocks. We could also like probably separate the chisel tuff from the other tuff. We're gonna need to do it at some point, I guess. So maybe we should. But yeah, video games, I feel like are meant to be an escape from real life. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a lot of people don't appreciate that. Again, I feel like I try not to use the word privilege very much because people use it for so many dumb things. But like, it is a real privilege to be at the point where you don't realize that problems in the world are problems in the world. Where you can be like, oh no, I think the video game should represent my real world exactly one-to-one because I love my real life so much that when I go to relax from the real world, I want my video games to be perfect representations of it. And it's like, well, that's really nice that your life is so wonderful that you can't even fathom the idea of a video game that doesn't perfectly replicate it. But that's not the experience for everyone. That's exactly how I deal with it. Small goals for every day, even if I do 2 chores or a self-care action a day. Yeah, it sounds like you got a really good grip on it. I'm happy for you, Raina Maffini. I hope that even on the days where it feels bad, you think about the fact that you are making some steps towards it. What about making the Let's Play house using trial chamber blocks, says Usta Yusuf? Wow, that's a cool idea. I wish someone had come up with this and had been able to do this in a maybe in a playthrough of Minecraft where they deliberately used all of the features besides the paintings. Don't question the paintings. Yeah, that'd be really cool. PlayStation, your replacement for drugs since 1994. Funny way to describe it, but yeah, not entirely untrue. So I'm gonna now mine this bit because there's some chiseled stone slabs in here somewhere. Not chiseled, just regular tough slabs that we're gonna pick up deliberately right now. I don't want to pick up these blocks, but I think I accidentally have. Should we destroy all of the bolts at the same time, or all the blocks around them? Yeah, I think we should. Let's do it. So we'll deliberately destroy all the weird blocks that are only found around the ominous vaults and the vaults themselves. And so yeah, we've got a very beautiful thing. So thank you, Toycat, for the love. It feels good to have strangers care. Yeah, it really does. I say this a lot, but there is 2 sides of a parasocial relationship. I hope that if you're all not familiar right now, it's like one of the brutal things that I think is important for any streamer to say is be like, yeah, I'm not your friend. Sadly, it doesn't work that way. If you think you know me perfectly, if you think you know everything there is to know about me, you statistically are wrong. That's just the way it is. Sorry about that. Not very nice, but it doesn't make it not true. So yeah, it's the important. So I'm gonna load all of these into this block. You don't know everything there is. You don't know me. You don't know all that stuff. It's a really important thing to know that. And it's really easy to just brush over it and be like, oh no, yeah, but I know you so well. You're the exception. But what it is, it's a parasocial relationship. You have more of an interaction with me here because you are with me here. It is a very one-way interaction. You know more about me than I know about you. That's what breaks it away from a friendship. It's the reason you need a friendship. It's someone who can track you and see what's going on. You could be making up what's happened in the last year of your life, and I feel like I'd only get it in some cases. I feel like if Dasher one day tries to be like, oh yeah, I've always been from Belarus. What do you mean? I'd be like, I'm pretty sure. What do you guys reckon, chat? If you try to, if Adansoni was not in fact the previous chatter, Aubrey, I believe, right? Maybe I'm wrong about that name, but if she wasn't that person, if she just realized, you know, this regular from a while ago stopped being around, I could just take their identity. Could be entirely made up. It could be that it could be that Ricky Nelson is not actually called Ricky Nelson. He says his username is WolfGamer949. Are you really even a wolf? But anyway, sorry. My point with all of that is just to say that it is parasocial. I try to remind people a lot. But also, parasocial relationships aren't non-relationships. They're not. It's not that there is no value to them. You just need to know what it is. And so it kind of works both ways on this. Is like, I am glad that we have a big community of people who, you know, enjoy similar things and whatnot. But at the same time, I need to be familiar with the fact that, like, yeah, there is if people feel like they know me, they see a certain side of me, I see a certain side of them, right? It's there is very much a boundary to it. Yes, I'm Aubrey. I've proof my social security is 986 hyphen. Okay, we found it. Okay, it's definitely the same person. I love that Dr. House post, essentially since I'm on my 9th rewatch of House. Yeah, I really liked House. I don't think I could rewatch it. That's the, like, it's one of those shows I thought was so good, but if I think about rewatching, I'm like, I'm gonna get to that dumb season where he thinks he's dead, but he's not actually, and I'm gonna say to myself, why am I taking hours out of my day for this? It's a good show. I really like it. It's a good, like, I guess it'd be a good background watch show, really, more than anything else. Maybe while I'm working on a Minecraft build. You know, chat, how about we pause how about I stop talking for a little bit and we all watch some House together? Okay, let's go do it. Let's find it. Okay, maybe can I blow? This only, you know, I'll finish that sentence there. But this blew my mind when I discovered this, chat. So tell me, someone has to be impressed by this. You know how the show is called House, and it's a medical, like he's a medical genius. He's really good at like solving the medical mysteries, right? So he's called Gregory House, right? And you know isn't that interesting? What's his assistant called, chat? What's his you know, he's played by he's got a name. What's the guy's name? I genuinely don't remember it. I like how delightfully non-committal parasocial relationships are. No pressure, just enjoying what the other gives. Yeah, it's something that is, I think people are ready for. Chase Cameron. No, it's Wilson. Yeah, Wilson. I can't believe it took me that long to remember Wilson. So he's Dr. House, and his assistant is Wilson. Oh, sounds a lot like that one. You know that one famous detective? You know, Dr. Holmes with Watson. I don't know how I didn't see that. The whole show is called House, and I did not realize that it was anyway, you know, I didn't realize that it was a Sherlock Holmes thing. Even, you know, the guy's British even. There's so much that should have given it away, but I didn't pick any of it up. And I'd like to share that with you all now, so I feel less silly about it.
Parasocial cat tax.
Thank you, Mischievous. Wow, you know, actually, the parasocial relationship is just everyone else. Me and you, though, definitely something special here. Let me tell you. No, I appreciate that, Mischievous. I always do appreciate people who understand it, too. Because it'd be scary if someone's response was like, no, but we are definitely friends. This is definitely, you know, like that. That is a terrifying end off the things. Is that a Sherlock Holmes thing? Wow, I didn't know that either, says Amanda Ree. Thank you, exactly. I know, right? House the Doctor is an addiction to a certain drug, right? Yeah, that too, Clary Frey. He's addicted to, is it meth or is it, it's like opioid in the books, and he's addicted to the modern day equivalent, like Vicodin, I want to say it is in the show. They smash you over the head with how much it's a Sherlock Holmes allegory, and I got none of it. I got absolutely none of it. Also, the Pizza Boxer says I'm being forced to watch this stream against my will. Oh, that sounds fun. Who's forcing you? I need to hit your kidnapper up. Clearly they are doing a good thing for the thing. It's never lupus. I know someone who I don't know for sure. Like, I don't know their history, but I know someone who they say they have lupus. And apparently, it's like a alarmingly rare disease that exists. It's really interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up all this stuff, and I'm gonna jump over to that, and it's gonna be great. Nice. So, what's up, IBX from Southeast Kansas? Hey, Southeast Kansas, represent. My favorite story from Kansas is one time I was just there. I was just casually, there was a restaurant that was doing a free taco day. So I made it my priority while I was in Kansas to go to this free taco restaurant, right? And then when I get there, the manager's like, wait, is this, you know, like, it was a whole thing. It was the most fun and bizarre moment for me. That the guy was like confused why I was there, and I was confused why he was there. He's like, what are you doing in central Kansas? What do you do? I don't know if it is the center, but he's like, what are you doing in blah, 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 Wichita, Kansas is how he said it. What are you doing out here? There's no people that come from out of state over to here. Is there a Minecraft fair in the area? He didn't sound like that at all. He sounded very normal. But I thought it was really fun. I really enjoy bizarre coincidences. Also, I like that these enemies are going to fall from the sky, but they're going to hurt on the way down there. So it's actually going to benefit me a lot. We could probably set up like a big full trap underneath these guys if we wanted to. Hey, reading my comment while I'm at work. You're so awesome, bro. I'm only a couple of hours from Wichita, says Caden. Hey, you know what? We've been in the same city. We might have been at the same taco place. It was good tacos. It was like there's this type of food that Americans like. I know they make fun of it. They're like, it's white people Mexican food. I love white people Mexican food. It's like I'm not interested in where the dish originally came from. I'm interested in having a good time. I love when you take tacos and you're like, what if we just put random stuff in there? What if we made a cheeseburger taco? And it's like, yes, someone is reading my mind here. The taco is the form factor. We can turn it into anything if we're brave enough. And so yeah, I had a real good time with it. Being from one state north of Kansas, I really appreciate the accent you gave them. Oh, this is the accent that everyone has in Wichita, Kansas. Tex-Mex American. Yeah, I love Tex-Mex American. I feel like when you take any cuisine and add any other influence to it, you know, like the reason that, you know, a lot of people like really don't like the idea of like, oh, it's just Americanized version of so and so. But actually, like, for something to succeed in another country outside of its traditional roots, it has to take the best bits of that and combine it with the best bits of the new area. Like, I know, it's like, how do you breed like, how do you breed dogs, chat? Do you take two dogs that look exactly the same? Maybe they're from the same parents even, and you just keep breeding them over and over again? No, that's how you get weird, broken dogs that look sad and look like they want you to put them out of their misery. The way that you breed like a good animal is you get diverse genes in the pool, and and the same as food for truth. The same as true for food. You know, the same as food for truth. You mix two foods from different continents with two different sets of histories, of two different sets of everything in there. You get some great food in the end. They're called pugs. Oh man, there's a lot of YouTubers who are really, really happy with their pugs, and I don't want to criticize those YouTubers or anything. But it's a dog that wants you to kill it. It's a dog that is begging you to put it out of its misery. And I don't know. You know, okay, my hot take. This is, you know, I know, like I like animals a lot, right? I'm a fan of animals. One of the craziest things that is so commonly accepted is like, yeah, you pick the really inbred animal, and that's the cute one that will get you some likes. But also, it's like, why do we get to pick animals that way? Like, can't we? I know there's this like there's this big thing of like, we have far too many animals, and we specifically produce new ones because they're cuter than the animals that are otherwise going to die. And something about that like really disheartens me. You know, at the same time, it's not like I'm adopting any animals from a shelter. If my choice was between not going to one, also, ooh, huh. I got some broken bones. A lot of items seem to break while doing this. So I have a list of also Robin Brooks. So we've reached the point in the stream where Hungry Toy Cat needs to order some food delivered. Yeah. So here's the funny thing. I am kind of hungry. I had like a small get things done dinner. I don't know if I was going for a small get things done dinner. In retrospect, I'm glad I got one. Chat, what should we order? How long can we talk about food before I end up having to order some? So, chat, let's make a collective poll. You know how people like to be like, I wouldn't be here without my fans. So, you know, I would not be here without my fans. So you get to decide what I eat. Let's do a collective round in the chat. Also, RXB5 Wi-Fi, relatively new here, and I'm enjoying these streams so much. Awesome, Ruby5, welcome to the live stream. How's it going? Hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing at least great. You know, it's very, very disingenuous of me to pretend that your emotional state is required for my... But no, it's good to see you, Ruby. Glad you're enjoying it. So eat fish, says NVFC DMN. I found a new place that serves lobster rolls today. I got really excited about the idea of going. Okay, so this one is not full. We'll take out the polished tuff from it. Put in all of the tough bricks. then we'll put the polished stuff in the correct one of these. There we go. Yeah, we are ending up with a lot of this stuff. So fish and chips like a proper British lad. Oh yeah, proper British lad, live in Barrett home, go once a week to, I don't know, it's been too long since I've followed the memes about it. Play footy with me friends after work. You can torture me, Toy Cat, by eating wings because I'm hungry for wings. You know, you're hungry. I've never been hungry for wings. I've got this Pizza Hut mild buffalo bonus wings. Okay, you know what? Never mind. Change my mind. I'm gonna be hungry for some. I feel like I don't like the bone part of wings, and I feel like boneless wings are so often bad that I've just resigned myself to not enjoying them anymore. Like when you get good boneless wings and it's like saucy and it's great, it's wonderful. But also, these are really broken bones. I feel like too many places just phone it in with the wings. Only if it's boneless wings, says Raina Matheny. Thank you, Raina. I totally agree, by the way. I don't know who's like, yeah, my favorite part of the food is the non-edible bit. But there are so many people. The one thing I will concede, I don't like to concede this, but I'll admit, like, the bone apparently stores flavor, or like, there's something like that. But the biggest benefit of the bone is then you take it off the bone later. So why don't we just skip that step? Why don't you can cook it on the bone if you want to. When it gets to me, there should not be any bones attached. I don't like reminders that my food was once alive. I think some people do, apparently. That's cool. You're allowed to do me. You just don't have to assume that I want that too. Boneless wings are just small tenders. Yeah, a lot of people are very militant about being anti-boneless wings. But it's like, so what? I like small tenders with sauce. That would be great. The bones have a lot of flavors. They also hold structures when you're eating. I've never had a concern with food holding structure before though, right? Like, have you ever heard someone be like, man, you know how you could really improve a banana? Is if there was like a bit of structure in there you could hold while you're eating. There's just no bone banana. I wish scientists could get their fingers out of their butts and just finally, you mentioned a poll, but gave no parameters. Oh yeah, it's not a poll. It's gonna be we're doing an emotional poll. Chat, is anyone being boneless wings? What should we eat if not boneless wings? You gotta top that. I'd love a pile of boneless wings right now. I don't know how many I'm gonna have to order. It's that thing we mentioned before of like, there is a bit of a problem with like some foods where you know you can't order it and hit the delivery minimum, so you have to order either too much or you order a lot of weird stuff that goes with it. It's the problem with kebabs. Like, no one's paying £15 for a kebab. But if you don't pay £15 for a kebab, you get a whole problem. Wagamama, says Cat Beanie. Oh, I do like Wagamama. I feel like I had an emotional poll. Do you like our emotional poll, chat? I hope you like our emotional poll. I think the boneless wing breading is too thick a crunch. Yeah, so there's two types of boneless wings. One where they really do go for like tender-like, and one where they're trying to make it into something. You're right, I can picture that too thick wing breading. I like that personally. It's weird for me to like it. I'll concede. Oh, don't keep knocking me down. I just wanna come up there. If that's okay, just don't knock me anymore. Just not anymore. No, don't do it. I don't want you to hurt me like this. Okay, so we're gonna tear apart the rest of these. Get some more trial keys. It's gonna be another one that spawns. Oh no, there's not. That's my last guy. Let's go get him. Okay, he'll die. He'll die from the fire. I don't need to worry about everything else. So then that means there's one more down there because I haven't killed the entire batch yet. So let's destroy all of this. Pick it all up nice and good. And then let's probably also destroy the last of these chains. If we get the chains out there, then we're good for another while. And if we destroy the chains, we can destroy the blocks above the chains. Then we destroy the blocks above the chains. And then we'll have almost finished this room. There's an old song called We Like Bananas Because They Got No Bones or something. A good burger, perhaps, says Dasher. Oh, yeah. I had my first... Okay. Almost my whole life, I've been hearing people complain about food that doesn't deliver well. And it's been like, there's no big deal. But then I finally had a burger that just was so bad by the time it got to me. It was like, why did I even order this? This is worse than something that I could eat. If I ate out of my freezer cold, it would be about the same. Like, it was terrible. And so now I've got this caution of like, oh, I'm rolling the dice if I order a burger. What if the burger gets to me and it's just not good? The fries were terrible too. Like, again, everyone always complains about getting fries delivered, and it's never been an issue for me. But the fries took an hour to get here. There's a... Can I say this? I'm trying to work out if it'll dox me. I live near a gourmet burger kitchen, but instead of doing it from the one that is next to me, it did it from one on the other side of London. I don't like that. They literally wouldn't do it from the one next to me. It was only an option from the one on the other side of London. They sent someone an hour away to collect food that they could have got, you know, right there. And then by the time it got to me, it was bad. And I was like, but you know, like 3 of us were eating too. It was like a lot of burgers. I was like, why have we done this to ourselves? You've spent a lot of extra time delivering this food, so it could be worse for me. You know what? It's worse for the driver. It was worse for me. I hope it was better for the restaurant, but I can't imagine it was. I'm sure there are orders that restaurant could have done instead. Pizza, you can never go wrong with pizza. Cookies are a healthy meal. Okay, sell me on how cookies are healthy, Amanda Reed. I feel like the opposite is true. We live in a cookie-phobic society that's trying to tell you all the time, like, no, cookies are bad for you, and here's 12 reasons why you shouldn't eat cookies for every meal of the day. So I'd love to hear about my internalized cookie phobia, and how I can better react to it in the world. It's official. Members can watch Gamer Boy Bathwater Part 3 of Doritos, says Wiser Pluto. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the end video. We're really, really busy with editing right now, like for 1.21 stuff, hopefully including today's video. But after that, yeah, there's something going on. Carbs and proteins. Who doesn't love carbs and who doesn't love proteins? Mix them together. How great. Get a cookie pizza. Oh yeah, cookie pizza would be good. I think sugar can be good for you if you're not getting much of it. Yeah, sugar lifts your mood so much if you haven't had it in a while. Like, people quit sugar, and I'm always tempted to join, but I know that, like, if I quit it for a bit, it'd be so good for me to go back, and then I'm like, what if I just skip the quitting bit? What if I just go straight back to sugar? And so that's what I end up doing instead. It's just not very productive. It's just not very productive at all. Cookies are wonderful. The slander is all propaganda from Big Broccoli. Yeah, you've got to think, like, vegetables need to have a serious marketing department. Like, farmers aren't ever going to make any money. Like, farmers sit there all day with this land that they're trying to turn into money. And, like, you know, they're trying as hard as they can to be like, look, it's really healthy to eat broccoli. It has vitamins in, we guess. Because they know that if people didn't think it was healthy, no one would be choosing broccoli. No one's like, oh, yeah, I just love the flavor. Yeah, you offer me cookie or broccoli, I'm going for the cookies every time. It's no one. There's no one. Pizza Hut mild buffalo boneless wings, you have to try. I don't think they have Pizza Hut mild boneless buffalo wings here. I feel like that series of words is unfamiliar with me. I think I might be able to. I think I could probably walk to a Pizza Hut. So I should look into what's going on with that. Okay, so put the dispenser away. Put the key away. We should probably start storing those somewhere. For now, though, we've just got some chisel to put away and some of this to put away. All of the blocks go in there. And we've now got a spare extra stack of these. And we'll have a spare extra stack of everything else too soon, it seems. So let's start moving some of these blocks out so we can make room for these. Yeah, wax blocks of copper. Going crazy out here. Sometimes I feel like a vegetable hit. Yeah, I think I deprive my body of vegetables to the point where it's like, we will die if you don't put vegetables in us. I don't feel good eating them, but I'm like, okay, we got that done. That was important. You get me? It's like I don't know. So, sometimes I'm convinced there are lots of things humans need to do that literally are just based on, yeah, we cause pain to make the good happen later. If like it's human conditioning to believe that if something is painful, it must have some benefits, so why would you be going through the pain? And so I think the same thing is kind of true for food. It's like, oh yeah, there's no way you can have a vegetable that tastes this bad if it's not incredible for you. People just wouldn't be doing it. Like the whole avocado is a superfood. I think avocado actually tastes pretty good. Like, it's got some fattiness to it. Like, it can work with other stuff. But some people go crazy for avocado because they're like, oh yeah, it's got like omega vitamin tray in it, you know? I love broccoli, says Cat Beanie. The only vegetable I love is like maybe asparagus. And even then I can eat like a half pack of asparagus and then I'm like, that was enough asparagus for the next 3 days. If you quit sugar except for fruit, then your body will, and taste buds after a week will start to crave fruit instead of sweets, says Ancient. You know, that does sound like a big benefit. I think that, like, one of the curses of the modern world is how many things there are that are made of sugar that you will eat to the point of unhealthiness. But if you ever do have a bowl of fruit in front of you, you won't ever like gorge yourself on the fruit. You eat like enough to feel good and then you stop. Whereas if I have like if I have a tub of ice cream, I'll be like, I'll eat half this tub of ice cream. And I'm like, I'm feeling a little overfull right now. And then I'll just eat the other half. It's no good reason for it. I don't want to do it. But my body's just like, this next scoop would taste so good too. So would this next one. I guess it's like an addiction, basically. I have an addictive relationship with ice cream. And who doesn't, right? Who doesn't? Okay, so now that we've cleared this out a substantial amount from there, the next question is, what do we do from here? I've got too many tough bricks and not enough spaces for them, so I either have to go get some chests. Sounds like a pain. Or I can start focusing on the rest of the areas of destruction, which sounds a lot more fun to me. You have to watch out with sugar, says Mardy Moose. Why do you have to watch out with sugar? What are the downsides of sugar? I can't imagine a single one. Therefore, there can't be any. Strawberry banana smoothie. Oh, no, that doesn't taste good to me. I'm hearing that, and I'm hearing... Nah, I'll skip on that one. You have all the strawberry banana smoothies. It's okay. I'll let you have it. I guess we're gonna make this chest into lots of different things, and then we're gonna put some polished ones away. We're getting very close to a full chest of all of that. But yeah, there's just so many tough bricks that make this structure up, chat. There's so many of them. We'll have to take this out so we can fit that in. Are there any more polished bricks just hanging in there? I don't think so. I think we really have organized it quite nicely. Okay, so now I have to be very, very careful about what I break, because eventually I'm going to overwhelm myself with tough bricks. At this point, I could solve this right now, but how about future me has something to say about that? Let's go do a brief ominous run, chat. We're already in here anyway, but I've got Bad Omen 2, so I'm going to go kill a few Bad Omens from other structures. And while I'm in those other structures, I'm going to grab some of their chests and take them back here. Okay, does that sound good? I hope it sounds good because we're doing it. So I'll do a little bit of mining, and then once we've picked up enough blocks, we'll move on from it. First time watching live, says Nathan Burton. Hey, welcome to your first live stream. What is it like live? Is it like not live, but so much worse because you can't skip forwards? You know, like I start a long rant about like, well, here's the feeling about economics, and you're like, oh no. There's no way out of this now. I can't skip forwards. I can only pause. I used my first autocrafter to make an iron farm ingots into iron blocks. I feel like I'm living in 2027, says David Harrison. I hope it does make you feel like you're living in the future. It's the most important part of the whole process. If you don't feel like you're living in the future, then what is the point? Really, really valid one there. Economic Talk was the best, says Topping Apple 947. So yeah, I think the point I think I lost it because I went a little bit deep down the rabbit hole about like, there's a really weird relationship that taxes have on us, because a lot of people view taxes as a mean to an end, like, well, government needs revenue, how do you get that revenue? A lot of people view it as like this redistributionary measure, like they don't care about how much taxes raise or if they're good or bad or whatever. They care that people lose money through taxes, and that is good. There's a morality to taxes too. But what I think is interesting is because we're so focused on the morality of it, or on the like whether but a lot of people think it's wrong that just someone else gets to keep X% of their money. A lot of people think it's wrong that other people get to keep up to 55% of their money. Why aren't they keeping only 10% or whatever? But I think beyond those two camps, I think the reason I said earlier, like, I would describe myself as, like, one of the terms I don't like, but I'd have to admit is true, is I think I'm a bit of a policy wonk. I think what's way more important than discussing, like, oh yeah, how do we tax fairest? Is how do we tax, like, most effectively? How do we make it so that people are incentivized to help other people the best within the confines of a tax system that exists, right? That's, like, my, like, ultimate problem that I think is worth solving. And so in the UK, for example, there's a really fun thing that happens. We have we have the concept of sales tax in Europe, but it's called VAT, and it's on basically everything. You pay it on almost everything besides banking services, I think. But you know, it's like and also, like, there's a few exempt goods, like you don't pay it on tampons or like children's clothing. It's a really weird list. But you only have to pay it as a business. You only have to charge it as a business if you earn over £85,000. 85,000 is the point where you have to register. Before that point, it's optional. After that point, it's not. So basically, your prices have to go up by 20%, or you have to give 20% of the money that you do already collect to the government once you earn 85,000. And so, what does this do to businesses, chat? Can you make an informed guess about what happens if £85,001 has a 20% tax attached, and 85,000 exactly has no tax attached? Could you make a guess about what that leads people to do? I would love to know if you can. It's a very hard question, I'll admit. But yeah, you'll be surprised that a lot of people do decide, or you know, through whatever reason, there's a lot of businesses that end up on one side rather than the other. It's not just because of fraud, like Salem Anderson suggests right there. Although there is a lot of people who are basically committing fraud, but a lot of businesses cap their own growth because why would you? It's a crazy fact that if you earn 110,000, I think it is, you earn less than someone who earns 85,000 and chooses to not register for that tax, right? And so, in my opinion, one of the most important things is not how much you tax that group of people, but is making sure that no matter what percentage you pick to tax them, you make sure that it's still in their interest to earn more money. Because otherwise, a lot of people will choose not to. A lot of people are like, well, if I will earn less money for earning more, then I will do less work, and that is bad for everyone when people decide that that is better, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm gonna jump up to where the skeletons are. This is really bad. I'm trapped myself in a corner where the baby zombies are. Okay, real bad. I'm just gonna get out here. They've all got diamond swords, which makes it extra scary. So I'm gonna go into the back of these fellas, where things are a little bit safer. They've all got knockback bows, so there's just no point getting them until they're right up here. Then go again, and there's one more baby zombie. Oh, two more. I counted wrong. Okay, 2 keys maybe? Oh, what potion is this? Speed? Yeah, nice. It'll probably help. So now we're getting hit by potions, which makes me think that there must be an ominous effect happening somewhere. But yeah, we're going to do a little bit of an ominous potion run, chat. So, don't worry about this. It's all very much brought in. I like America's income tax system. If you overstep the first bracket, only the money you earn over that amount gets taxed in the second bracket. Yeah, so every modern country has that exact same system, Ad and Sony. Every system in the world for income taxes, as you earn more money, the more money that you earn means that the less tax, or you only pay the newer tax rates, the higher tax rates, on the money you earn above the threshold. So when you hear that there's a, I don't know, like if you earn $250,000 in the US, you pay a 37% tax, I think it is. The numbers are close enough to right. Not perfect though. Just look into them before. I'm not giving you tax advice, but you only pay tax on the amount above them, right? It's an important part of every system to make sure that you're incentivized to go to work. But so every country has worked out for income, you need to do that because income taxes are like most government budgets. But very few countries have worked out how to do that for everything in the system. So as an example, you get benefits when you're not working, and but you don't get benefits when you are working. And so there are some jobs where when you are in work, you'll earn less than when you are on benefits. That is a bad system. You have to set it up so that the benefits... I mean, you can make some moral judgment about whether you should be earning more than someone who's working when you're on benefits. But if you are going to have the system, which we all do have the system and we have that in existence, then you've got to say that instead, how do you make sure that someone is incentivized to work? And it's by not taking away all of their benefits the moment they start working, but you taper it off slowly. And the taper rate in the UK is like 90% or something. But in some countries, it's well over 100%. And you need to make sure that every person who rationally thinks, what should I do, decides I should earn... if people are thinking rationally about what they should do for themselves, they should be picking the decision that is best for everyone. In my opinion, I guess I should add at the very end of that. So yeah, that's why I think I would describe myself that way, is because I'm a big fan of, like, people have these giant debates about, you know, morality, and they've been doing it my whole life. I've realized this recently. Ever since like 2010, there've been these big discussions about, oh yeah, well, who should be doing what and who should be paying for it and all that noise, and it literally has no effect. You know, this is why so many people get like dull on politics, is because, you know, like, even if these people make their big changes, then the other people change it back, because a lot of people ideologically feel both ways. So you take whatever we have, ideally you can move it in a good direction if you want, move it in the right direction, but then you say, how do we make this same system we have right now smarter? If we all agree that the system just about works, how do we make sure it just about works, but better? Is the question we should all be aiming to actually answer. Okay, I'm going to take down the free spawner first, because I feel like it's the hardest one. Okay. I feel like it's the hardest one if you don't have a jump on it. And then I'm going to take on the skeleton spawners to start. Okay, I think I got this. Okay. So there's one breeze that's on fire over there. He's going to jump up at me again, though. Oh, there's a spider. Okay, it didn't work. So I'm trying to get as many ominous keys as I can right now, chat. I'm just taking advantage of a little lull in the destruction to get it done. It's if I'm hanging out in a trial chamber for all these hours anyway, I might as well do something important, is my logic. And so it's what I am doing. And so I'm going to take down every trial spawner in this chamber, and then I'm going to go to another chamber nearby and do the exact same thing. That is not an ominous key, but I'll take it, I guess. So next up, we got skeleton time. Tear them all apart. Oh yeah. Easy stuff. Cool. Top tier philosophy, says Nathaniel Burton. I think what it is, right, is a lot of people do think to themselves that they can have a lot of people think that the only thing that you can do to make the only thing that you can do to make the world better are changes so huge that they break the world as we know it. And when you look back, we like to imagine changes as being like generationally huge. Like, oh yeah, you know, the moments that we think back on are always very, very big that way. But the actual most important changes are the fairly small ones. You know, the time, I know, like, to pick a dumb example, right? Like, the time that probably mattered most to you in your childhood was not the thing where your parents spent the most money on you. It's not the holiday where they broke the bank or whatever to do something nice for you. I remember there's a moment in my childhood. One day my mother and her friend, so we were with her sons, like one of our childhood friends, me, my brother, and him. We were like, oh yeah, we're going to Tesco, and we're like, that's fine, going to Tesco, whatever. We're like in the car, and then they're like, got you. We're actually going to the giant swimming pool that's next to Tesco. I was like, wow, that is much better than Tesco, actually. And just that feeling of excitement that this had come from nowhere made so much bigger of an impact than anything else. But a lot of the times it is small stuff that matters, way more than big stuff. And small stuff can also be way easier than big stuff, if you just know how to do it, right? Also, 2 keys. 2 keys indeed. One thing I disagree with is that disabled people can get disability benefit here. Can only have so much in savings before they reduce/stop the disability. Yeah, it feels like they're basically saying you have to drain your savings. That's another example, by the way, of like there are a lot of things wrong with the way disability money is handled. But one of the weird and dumb parts of it, in the UK chat, I'm just talking about, in the United Kingdom, which is where I live. I'm sorry if your system is different, and I hope that it's better and not worse. In the UK, you can only have, I think it might be £5,000 in savings to access quite a few benefits. I think it might have gone up a little bit. But the idea shouldn't ever be you have to get rid of that money, or what people will actually do is, like, you know, make it look like the money's gone. And yeah, it means that it looks like fewer people need the benefits, but they don't. And I don't agree with the idea of giving people, if you had $1 million in savings, I don't agree that you should get access to, you know, like a plumber's wages so that you can not have to spend your million, you know, like, or whatever. But I think what everyone agrees is, like, it shouldn't be that you either get it if you have less than 5,000 or 35,000. It shouldn't be that you get it or that you don't. It should be that, you know, if at $1 million you get 0% of it, at, you know, 5,000 you get 100%, and you slowly, like, swing it somewhere in between, so that you're always incentivized not to hide your money or to do this, but to actually be honest about how it works. I think basically everything in life can be solved by working out, like, when people are doing things that you don't want to do, right? The easiest example is, like, crimes. How do you make people not do crimes? Is a very hard to answer question, actually. But weirdly, you know, like, a lot of people think, like, oh yeah, if we just, like, if we make the, I don't know, here's a dumb idea. If you don't like people stealing from a store, what if you gave them the death penalty? It's like a real dumb thing that people say, like, what if we chop off people's hands? Go real Sharia on this, you know? And it's interesting because the logic should be that, yeah, a rational person should think to themselves, why should I commit the crime? Oh no, the punishment is so high, I couldn't live without my hands, therefore I won't. But the actuality of what people are deciding isn't what is the... People don't decide whether to do crimes based on what the punishment is. They decide whether or not to do crimes based on the punishment by the likelihood of being caught. If you think that every time you steal from the store you will be caught, then you will steal less, and you know, stuff like that. Or if you think that it will have, you know, that's a hard thing to do. So what if you make it like a real psychological thing, that like it's a real social shift? What if you might find, for example, I need to get out of here. These breezes are bad for me. I'm just gonna hang out in this corner. I'm gonna eat some good food. Maybe even drink the potion of regeneration. You know, have something. Okay, let's go for it. And now let's kill the breezes. It's a lot easier to kill breezes in a big open trial chamber, gotta say. I think one of them might have fallen down, but I don't see him, so maybe he didn't. I don't understand if you didn't work but have the ability to. You can get so much financial help, but working minimum wage to support 3 people is too much money to receive any help at all. Yeah, I think almost everyone would have a more positive relationship with everything if things didn't feel like that. Like, I know some people make it like they argue like, ooh, it's the bourgeoisie system deliberately setting this up. But a lot of the people who are most against, you know, like the systems of benefits and whatnot, are people who are like, yeah, wait, I'm at basically the bottom, and I'm being asked to put money into the system for people who are like one tiny rung below me, or in reality slightly above me, but better at pretending that they're a rung below me. A lot of people feel like if there was nothing there for them, then clearly the people who are on this system. But in reality, it's like, yeah, there are real bad knife edges in there. The correct way to actually run it, and if I was to be really nerdy about it, the correct solution is usually given by basically every economist, is you implement negative income tax. And so the way it works more or less right now is everyone pays tax, and some people receive enough benefits to counteract the tax they put in, thereby effectively making it so that they get, you know, they're effectively getting more money back from the tax system than they put in. In the UK, I think the number to be a net contributor is like 35,000, something like that. But the way you would actually just set up is say, okay, so rather than taking a bunch of money from these people, then giving it back to them and, you know, doing it messy like that, is you just say, everyone at 35,000, we don't take any money from you. Anyone above that point, we take the same money that we do. And then anyone below the point, rather than setting up these like targeted benefit systems, whatever, we just say for every pound you earn, we'll give you a pound. For example, rather than saying for every pound you earn, we'll take 20p and then we'll give you 40p. It's like, what is that system? That's very confusing. And then we'll give you 40p for like, I don't know, a car or a house or whatever else. Like there's all sorts of weird systems that you could just merge together and say, look, if we believe that money solves problems, and most people seem to think that it is, otherwise we wouldn't have all these systems out for giving money to people for that stuff. If we're under the impression that money solves problems, then we should also be under the impression that we should be giving money out to people on a rational basis rather than on an irrational one. There should be some, as an end individual, you should be able to work out exactly what the benefits and costs of making a decision are. And ideally, it should always work out that if you do some more work, you will make some more money. And then if everyone had that decision, then the world would work slightly better. A lot of money would be unlocked, and wow, wouldn't that be nice? Okay, there we go. That's my policy wonk discussion. I'm gonna get it out there. That's like my identity, my coming out. We found I feel like a lot of people do have. I'm gonna take both keys, I guess. Actually, let's go out there. I've got a new one real close. Emotional poll. The emotional polls come back, and it turns out I should be happy, chat. Thank you for agreeing with that. But no, yeah, why would you not? How would you look at that and conclude anything else than, oh yeah, everyone should be incentivized to do the thing that is good for everyone, and so that like everyone should agree that when for the crime example, like, oh yeah, it is ideal. If we were making up a world out of nowhere, which we kind of get to do, it'd be ideal if people thought to themselves, oh yeah, I will not commit this crime because there is a chance that if I do commit that crime, that something bad will happen. That's we all agree for that point. Like, oh, what if we had like a bad place that we send people, so that if they do a thing, they'd be worried about going there, and we wouldn't have to send many people there, but if we send some number of people there, then everyone would know they don't want to go there. And yep, okay, all good, wonderful, lock that down. Perfect. And it's like, so what if we have the same thing, but for other things that we want people to do? Like, we don't want people to, we want people to... It's like, it's unfulfilling for people as well as for the wider system. If people feel like they should not be working because they'll lose some money. If people feel like, in order to live, in order to get this money, they have to give up all their savings, so they can't get a mortgage or whatever. And so they can't get access to any form of other finance. Like, if you make people make their lives worse so that you will give them something, then you are hurting them in more than one way. I don't know. Anyway, with that said, did you know the world is in debt by $7 trillion, says Ancient. So, do you know what's crazy, though? You say the world is in debt by $7 trillion, but do you know who the world is in debt to, Ancient? Do you know who the world is actually indebted to? This will blow your mind. Like, who does the world, if the world owns $7 billion in debt, who could we possibly owe it to? Oh, there aren't any aliens, are there? Wait, no, it's so Chantal. You got it, the moon. The finance bank of the moon is yet to be set up. But no, the world owes 7 trillion to the world. We're 7 trillion in debt, but we're also 7 trillion in surplus on the bank sheets. The really clever thing that debt allows you to do, like, if you think about it, like on a broad enough level, we're in lots of debt, but we're also the ones holding all the debt. So we're actually in no debt. On an individual level, you have debt and you have, things that cancel that out, etc. Okay, let's go in for this. I've got only a few minutes left at the trial element. Okay, I've got 18. That should allow me to do another one after this too. We owe the big broccoli. We owe lots of broccoli to lots of people. Damn son, you got a lot of trial keys, says Fallen Sky. I know. My goal is to get even more, if you'll believe it. Okay, straight time. Oh, he spawned over there. I hate that. Oh, this is going badly for me. I think I need to tell them I'm dying before I come into a brand new trial chamber I'm not familiar with. Okay. Yeah, that went very poorly to start with. Let's start another trial chamber. I reckon that will solve all my problems. Okay, so yeah, this is in fact solving my problems, as it so turns out. I didn't think I thought I was being a little facetious when I said that, but as it turns out, a lot of things can be solved by just making new problems. Oh, and I got baked potatoes, just what I wanted for all that work. So I'm gonna have to eat soon. Oh, it's funnily enough, this is a lush cave trial chamber. That's nice. Okay, so let's go finish these guys. I don't like being slow, so I'm going to choose not to be. I also feel like I should take the water buckets out of these dispensers. Definitely a way to nerf the trial chambers the tiniest bit. So let's now grab some. Is that the last one? No, it's not. Let's go kill. Let's walk through this, get the strength, and let's go kill the breeze. Where are you, breeze? I'm just gonna push the button. I've got to undo all their work. Feels like you could have just not done it. So yeah, the world is in debt $7 trillion to the world. And so, the wonderful thing about debt is that money exists and sort of doesn't, right? If you take all the debt in the world and all the obligations of the debt to the world, there's no money actually owed as a net total. But by having that $7 trillion that is owed and then cancelled out by the fact that people, you know, like, are going to pay it back, you have all this money which counts as money without having to be paid. You know, if you think about it this way, when you buy a, let's say you buy a house with a mortgage from the bank, from someone who previously has just had this house in their generation for years. So you have £50,000, and the man who owns the house has £50,000, like in everything that you own. Although the man who owns the house actually has £550,000, right? So because he has a house worth $500,000, let's just say. So when the man in the house sells his house to you, he's just converting his house into cash. So that man had 50,000 before, now he has 550,000. Give me a key, yeah. The man's just converting his house into cash, and you're buying it from him. It's just a sale. If you gave him the money, then it would be an economic transaction. It'd be good for the world, but it wouldn't actually be helping. Also, hey, it wouldn't be increasing the amount of money in the world. So here's the really crazy bit about it. Also, dude's gonna take a nap. A little pregnancy sick. Goodbye. Good to see you, Ad and Sony. I hope you're doing wonderfully, and congratulations on having more. What's the correct term for this? Offspring. No, have a good one. Yeah. So if you got a house that's worth $500,000 and you sell it to someone and they buy it from cash, then you've just moved around an asset from someone else. But now imagine you buy a house from someone using debt. So now you've borrowed $500,000 from the bank. That man now has money that he could not have had before. You have a house that you could not have had before. And so he has $500,000 and you have $500,000. And then you have that debt, which now belongs to the bank. And so they are richer too. By creating that, you allow more things to happen and cycle. And you kind of create money out of thin air. If you ever look into, at least on the UK, we have this in our money. If you ever look onto the money, it says like, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum off. Because money is actually debt. The genius thing we worked out is that we can trade debt like it's money. We can trade future money like it's today money. And as long as the future continues to exist, then that money continues to have value. It's crazy. It doesn't sound like it makes any sense. But it totally does. And so, where are these? Oh, it's yeah, let's walk into this room. Let's do the stray spawner. It's a pain to do them, but let's do it. Oh no, I don't have the strength. Okay, I hope that the breezes don't spawn. Okay, we got them all done before the breezes spawn. Perfect. Love that. Give me a key. Yay! Whoa, 16 keys, chat. You ever had this many? I feel like this might be the most I've had at one time. Sorry for a silly question. Why is gross government debt called that? What's so gross about it? So, gross is usually the number that's like the actual number. So like I don't know, like gross is usually before like everything else is added and removed from something. And net is after you do it. So gross salary is salary before taxes. Net salary is salary after taxes. I'm guessing gross government debt would be the total debt before you make some subtraction from it. I couldn't tell you what the subtraction would be though. Like maybe you subtract what the government owes itself, because one of the most bizarre things is government borrow money from themselves. A lot of government debt is held by the government, which gets confusing when you think about it too much. The money multiplier dictates how much banks can multiply the money they have in deposits to loan out. They loan more money than they have. Yeah, that's the really wild thing, Click All Night. I thank you for making sure that I actually finished my point about it. So the bank lends you $500,000 for the house, and then you know you have money, the guy has money. But now that bank can lend out that same money over and over and over and over and over again, and the money comes from thin air. And as long as we all agree that the bank has the money, even though they objectively don't, that money exists. We give the banks the ability to create money, and because banks are interested in making more money from their money, it works out. Like so many things in life, it makes no sense, but because we all accept it good enough that it works, then it does make sense, and it's all good enough. So I activated all 3 of these spawners at the same time. I don't want to deal with that, actually. So I'm just going to walk out. Those rooms are terrible, and they're just not worth dealing with. Although I think I have so many of those rooms in here. Please don't be the same room. Please don't be the same room. Doesn't look like the same room to me. It's one of these. Ooh, a little spicy. Maybe we could go up a staircase for this one. Yeah, let's just break a few blocks in the wall here. And then place a couple of blocks. Some of the ones that we broke. And then let's take down the strays. Stray time. Yeah, no slowness for me. Oh, slowness for me. Okay, die. Thank you. Give me a key. Maybe. Golden carrot. So there should be... Okay, there's another stray spawner over here. I'm hoping that there's no enemies... Okay, they're already in there. Do we have to kill them? Yeah, we do. They're not going to turn into strays because they're already strays. So we'll kill this third guy who's not involved in the transaction. And then we'll kill you. And we should have to jump up here and kill these 3 guys before anything happens. Perfect. There's one more guy left, I think. Where is he? Okay, that's a slime. Does anyone see the last stray? He's got to be around here somewhere. But I don't see him. There he is. So, get some slimification on me. And... Is that a key? No, it's a piece of meat. So now we can just fly out of it. Oh, I don't think I actually needed fly out there. I could have just... Oh, well. Whoopsie. Normal mistake. Happens to us all. Are we allowed to discuss the UK general election? Strong Lib Dem Toycat vibes, I reckon, says just in case. I think it's really interesting, right? So, in the UK, we have... like... I like to discuss this with anyone who's interested. This is one of those, like, ways in which I am massively internationally fascinated by politics. I think it's really, really interesting that the word liberal means something different in basically every country. I think, you know, there's a lot of Americans who are like, I describe myself as liberal. But if they were to actually use the correct definition of that word, to me at least, then they would hate. They describe people who are liberal in the normal sense. They have to come up with like mean words to them, like they are neoliberals. They are the bad types, not the good types like me. Whereas in Australia, Liberal is the right-wing party. There's Liberal and Liberal National, I think maybe. Oh no, it's Liberal and it's Labour. It's Lab Lib, I guess, over there. Whereas in the UK, Liberal is one of the oldest parties we have. It was back when politics was defined on a different dimension. So liberal in the UK sense means to be, you know, like open. Like I guess, like liberal in the UK sense is not just anti-government involvement in, you know, like your social life. You know, like the government shouldn't dictate who you can marry and, you know, who you can sleep with. But also the government shouldn't dictate how you spend your money, for example. In a way that is broadly accepted in most of the world. But yeah, it's really interesting. In the UK, the Lib Dems are a fusion of 2 parties. So our Liberal Party isn't strictly one thing or the other thing. It's 2 separate parties that are fighting for control, basically, at all times. And I feel like the current Liberal Party in the UK is not massively liberal. Like they kind of take the opposite tack to what you would expect. Like I feel like there isn't a perfect. Lib Dems are looking good this year. IMO says Richard Montgomery. Good to see you, Richard Montgomery. They're gonna do well, but they're still third party well though, right? Okay, I'm getting buzzed a lot. Bro, are you okay? Why are you mining the whole thing? Okay, I'm gonna see if that's anything normal. Almost done. What were the 2 items you said are rarer than the heavy core? Okay. Yeah, precipice. Did you know, chat? Precipice is rarer than the heavy core. I mean, my proof is in the fact that I have precipice, but I have no heavy core. Should we just use the vaults in this trial chamber? Nah, let's not. Let's save it. As an American, I'm rooting for the UK Lib Dems this cycle. So, yeah, there's a lot of people get really surprised by this one, because if you live in a 2-party system, it's confusing that there's a 3-party one. But basically, depending on where you live in the UK, you either have a 2-party choice, you know, the 2 major national parties, or you have, if you live in a very left-wing area, you get you get the left and the center fighting, and if you live in a more suburban, like affluent area, you have the right wing and the center party as your two choices. And it's really interesting to me that it means that you don't just. I think it's one of the things that helps us avoid the over-Americanization of like, oh yeah, you don't pick who you vote for based on who you hate more, which is one of the dumbest like political things that we've been convinced is somehow normal. Like, yeah, you know what most people do to decide who should run the country? They work out who shouldn't run the country, and then they pick the second worst person. And then they say, well, it could have been the worst person. It's like, to me, that's like one of the dumbest things that is just broadly accepted as being a valid way to decide in the US. Like, I've spoken to like really, really intelligent people, and they're like, yeah, but if I don't vote for the second worst person, then the worst person gets in. Also, ooh, extreme slowness. Toycat is love, Toycat is life, Toycat is yes, Toycat no politics, please. See, that's the point I think in that. I think people are left wing surely means progressive. I think that's understandable. Yeah, no, my only point in there was that I was trying to say that the definition of those things is very fluid based on the thing you're trying to have. We just have crappy options. I mean, people get the politicians they vote for. That's the one thing in the system, right? That's the one thing that you get in democracy. You don't get to guarantee much, but you guarantee that you get the people that as an aggregate you vote for. Okay, so there's still some active silverfish. Does anyone see them? I hope you don't see them. I did a Model UN committee, which was the Scottish Parliament playing Alex Cole-Hamilton. I've been a Lib Dem ever since. Sounds fun. Okay, so with that said, now that the politics are gone, let's dive into the more important, like, I think the just as consequential issue of what should I eat, chat. We couldn't get past boneless wings or a burger. The burger's a roll of the dice. What do you think is a better one? So which gonna jump out there? I'm never gonna find the silverfish. The sooner I accept that, the happier I'll be. So we'll just walk out through this room. We'll confirm that there's not a spawner back behind one of these walls, because it happened to me once before, and I've been betrayed ever since. But I don't think I've ever gone for it. Is it back here? No, it's not. Okay, no spawners. We're good. Let's walk out. And then we've got another 3 minutes. We'll try and activate another trial spawner. I forgot where the third one is, honestly. Boneless pizza, says Fortune Edge. Oh, I love boneless pizza. I love when there's no bones in my pizza. I know some people say that the bones actually add flavor to their pizza, and they're a real big fan of it. But, they're wrong. You don't want bones on your pizza. It's just the truth. I'm sorry you had to hear it from me. So we want to go this way, and then up here, and then that's the right way. Okay, so we're gonna use the really goofy trial chamber chat, like the goofiest one. We're gonna use the one that's really, really close to spawn. Oh, not spawn. I guess it's also close to spawn though. Okay, let's fly through this gap. Oh, okay. Might have taken 6 hearts of damage doing that, but nailed it otherwise. Get a bone pizza. Oh yeah, bone. Honestly, yeah, the bone's probably really good for keeping in stability. It gives you a good place to hold the pizza from. Salad and Go. It's a fast food salad restaurant. I do have to say that is actually one of the also.
Are you selling Gamer Boy Dorito Dust? And if so, does this count as payment?
So, good news, David Solomano, your pre-order for Gamer Boy Dorito Dust has been approved. It's now in the queue, and your Gamer Boy Doritos will be with you very shortly. You can have them real fast. The real question: if we get wings, will you get some sauce with them? If yes, then what?
Pizza is always a good option since there are endless possibilities between
endless
toppings
possibilities.
and pizza brands.
Honestly, that is the weird truth. I have a pizza place I like the most, but even with that being true, doesn't keep me from wanting to experiment at least a little bit. Okay, so my hole is somewhere down here. Chat, if anyone knows my hole is, You give me coordinates. Okay, there we go. We're in. Gonna activate some torches on the way down. Just a few. Oh, too fast. So from here we went this way, and from here we have a trial chamber. So we're just gonna activate all of these as fast as we can because they're quite simple. It's just zombies. As long as they don't have armor, I end up doing pretty well from these. I don't have a breeze spawner, sadly. I just got a lot of zombies I gotta contend with. Okay. Okie dokie. Nice stuff. If one of these gives me a key, this was a really good visit. If neither of these gives me a key, this is one of the worst uses of my time. Oh no, I came all the way back home, chat. I flew all this way across my world for a baked potato. Thank you! Mitsu is sleepy. Hey, thank you for becoming a member. Love to see a name that I recognize. Oh, what was that? I saw something up there, right? Yeah, there's a stray spawner. I can't reach the strays, but it's a nice idea and everything. Yeah, I wonder what caused the water to start flowing, by the way. Was there a wind charge effect? I just didn't realize. Okay, these guys have to give me they have to give me a key. Otherwise, I came here for nothing, chat. And I don't want to admit that I came here for nothing, even if it's true. Okie dokie. Okay, yep. Chat, I came all the way back home for a strength potion and a couple of nothings. A supporter who happens to be a cat, wow, says Mitsu is sleepy. Wait, you also happen to be a cat? Wow, I'm IBX Toy Cat. What are the odds? Crazy stuff. So yeah, I actually dug a hole over here that I seem to have forgotten about. We should use that one next time we want to come in here. But yeah, my Trial Omen has 1 second left. It's nice that this exists, but I think I'm going to have to, like, dig it up or something. Make it like a I think this would be a cool project to uncover this entirely. But also that'd be a very big project, so. Wait, is my massages getting deleted? Don't worry, I'm not deleting anyone's massages. It is your God-given right to give massages to whoever you like. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Okay, so up we go. We also have to make this other hole slightly more visible. It's a very big issue. We need to make sure that where is it? It's gonna be just around here somewhere. But wherever it is, I need to make sure that I can see the way in. So thank you very much, by the way, Amandari, and also for David Salamano. Hope you're both doing very desert well today. Okay, what's down the hole? That's what's down the hole. How we gotta dig this? Should I dig the whole thing out? I guess I should just place some tough bricks over here. Okay, so break you. And we'll place just yeah, we'll just place a few under this tree. Like make a vague hint. I think we could probably make like a mushroom out of tough bricks or something. Use some copper for the outside. Yeah, I kind of like that idea, but instead we're gonna dig this 2 blocks down right now, and we'll dig the rest down later. We're gonna drop these on the ground, maybe? Yeah, those on the ground and those on the ground. And then we'll mine cobblestone, because I feel like I'm lacking cobblestone. I always mine smooth stone in the world. So let's make a change. Let's change the world. It's been 3 hours and I still haven't got a creator disc, says Table Productions. Yeah, I got my only creator disc somewhere close to 3 hours in. You do have to accept it's going to be a bit of a grind. But it's worth it in the end, usually. Oh, just keep on digging down. Keep on believing. There's a lot of negative things that happen in this dig. But I'm just trying to make this hole slightly wider so that I can see the big wide hole and know what it means. So, yeah, if I send one time, the next time I send again, Eris says Maddie Moose. Good to see you though, Maddie Moose. How's it going today? Hope you're having a very good one indeed. You know, I feel like I say that to everyone. It's because I hope everyone's having a Desert Cloud day. Or I've got a broken message on repeat. That's my... You know how, like, people ask, how are you doing? But they don't really care? You know, I feel like my version at least shows that I care on some level. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe any autopilot response has a cap to how effective it can be. Maybe the only true way that you can be maximal levels of politeness... Okie dokie. Yeah, maybe the only true way to reach maximum politeness is to actually consider every word to every person and the impact it will have on them. Let's do that now. By the way, I feel like we got a new member and the member count didn't go up. Has it been 425 all stream? Or was it 424? And we just hit it. Brits are the master of fake conversation, says Richard Montgomery. I want to know why there's so many... Also, Toycat, please check out the thumbnail. Hey, okay, I got it. Delete the messages I realized. Ready to publish? What thumbnail do you prefer or change? Thank you, Harrison. Good to see you. Hope you're doing great today. Yeah, I figured, I feel like the... Yeah, I feel like, yeah, the one change I'd make to the thumbnail, I'm going to give it to you verbally, Harrison, is... The one change I'd make is I'd put the 1 in 1,000 chance on the red arrow, and then above it, I'd make it look more like everything else, like, every new item or something like that. Okay, so Harrison is yes. It's been 425 the whole stream. Oh, I hit the button, but it didn't go up. Oh, I hit it just now and it's not gone up. Oh, my button's not working, chat. Can it go down? I wonder why not. Okay. Does this button work? None of my buttons are working, chat. Oh, no, it just reset itself. Oh, I hate that. Okay, no, we're good. It's not working. My button broke, chat. I have a... Oh, no, it's gone up. It's gone up too much now. Okay, someone has to become a member so we don't have to do this. Oh. I'm sad now. Okay, so... Now we're going to go dump out our inventory. All the extra stuff. And we have to grab some extra chests. I think we got a few while we were out. Enough, hopefully. And then we're going to get right back to the destruction. Okay, so tough bricks. Cobblestone needs to go in here. I picked you out for a reason. I need to place another mob drop chest, if I'm being totally honest. Maybe the mob drop chest should go here. Like, I've got a basically empty shulker box. Let's just make this into a double wide chest. And then we can put arrows of slowness in there. You know, there's a chance that at some point, future me will be really excited with these arrows of slowness that I'll have saved for him. Yeah, it's probably that. Okay, put those in the corner. And now, this chest room is beautiful. Anyone who says otherwise lies. Just remember that, chat. Master of yapping, thank you! I try my best. This is me not yapping. It's hard. Oh, my bees got out again. This is a really common problem, chat. My bees... I think it's like this top set of beehives. But my bees just constantly are escaping. Yeah, I just need to put my honeycomb in here. Future me wants to do something with that honeycomb. I'm not one to judge. I think the funniest arrow is the arrow of instant health. It's depressing when you're not yapping. The benefit of yapping, I think, the benefit of talking a lot, is the constant reassurance that you got this. I think it's, I think that if there were 2 people here, if I was here with, you know, like Olaf, or I was here with anyone else, if we're having a chat and I'm continuously yapping at them, that feels potentially impolite if they do not want that. But I think the difference is if you're in a conversation where one of you is, for some reason, deliberately not talking. Chat, why aren't you talking? Oh, you are talking. You're just talking in text. You guys, you lost your voice today or something? You know, like, I think there's a big benefit to doing it then. Your job when streaming is to yap, says Blog33. Yeah, I recommend people do get into streaming to learn how to yap. Having nothing to bounce off can be really, really handy for learning some stuff. Or it can break your soul and give you some, I don't know, crippling social issues. One of the two. Toycat always looks like he feels sad when he does a collab. I wonder if that's the bias you have when I'm not talking, you assume I'm sad. Or maybe the bias... I need to turn on my lights, by the way. It doesn't look any lighter to you in here, but now it looks slightly less like it's dark. Happy 9 PM, by the way. Could you even imagine this was a Zoom call and you could see and hear all of us? Okay, chat. Next live stream, we're gonna do it as a Zoom call. It's gonna be a lot of fun, okay? My best friend yaps at me all the time. She has some cool stories to tell. I think that yapping is a valid and important part of life. A lot of people like it, and a lot of people, I feel like, you know, two yappers at each other can be like a tense social standoff, like who gets to yap more, who gets to yap first. But in general, it's not usually the case, I find. Good dog. Oh, what did I just read there? Oh, it was meant to be good god, not good dog. So just successfully completed a 1.21 semi-auto raid farm. By the way, love your philosophy yapping, says Loveless Statue 8. You know, I do feel like we talk about other stuff more than we talk about philosophy. Is that is it a sign that we're meant to talk about philosophy more if I get a lot of compliments about it? Is that like a subtle like, yeah, I love it when you talk about philosophy. Hint, hint, don't dive into that economic rant again. Okay, so I'm going to break these blocks now with my pickaxe. Okay, good. Also, I just realized, you know, good dog. Good dog. Could you imagine if we had our webcams on? I'd see so many people's good dogs. Okay, so also I just realized I've got so many unnecessary slots in this chest. We could start dumping stuff in if we need to. Okay, now I've got that extra spot. I brought my glow squib with me. That was a really bad idea. But we're good to go. Ooh, Toycat talking about philosophy is top tier content. What was the last time I actually spoke about philosophy, though? Is this like, does everyone else have faulty memory, or do I have faulty memory? I like talking about philosophy a lot. I just don't know that we've done it in a very long time. You know, maybe we should change that. Chat, is it okay to kill people if you're hungry and they're made of food? You know, is that, you know, what if you were really hungry and because they're food they enjoyed being eaten? Is it okay to eat them then? Because we all are made of food, you know, we don't like to admit it. Makes us a little uncomfortable. But the entire human body is edible. I mean, I guess everything's edible. You can eat a nuclear reactor if you try it. If you've got enough people and enough time. I mean, sure, if you'd like to go to jail. You know, isn't that a flaw of the justice system that it sends people to jail for that, though? Sounds like a flaw of them to me. So there's just one skeleton up there. I have to wait for him to jump down, or I'm not going to be able to get anything done. That's okay. I can wait. By destroying the entire area below him, we guarantee that he falls onto the ground now, which is good. If we ever get an ominous bottle again, which I'm intending to get some. Although it's weird, since the entire time I've been here, I haven't got any pillagers. But that probably is because we are in a trial chamber and there's no mob spawning here. So that's an interesting downside that I haven't really thought of. Also, all of my keys are going to spawn on the trial chamber, but it's going to be up in the air, chat. What am I meant to do about that? I haven't thought this one through correctly, clearly. Okay, it's only bread. When it's a key, that's when it starts to matter, I think. For the first time I'm going to lose a key, that's when I'll worry about it. I'm hungry, the stream hurts, even if you're talking about eating people. Oh, do you wanna order some food? I've got some great suggestions for you if you do. You can have a boneless pizza. Does a boneless pizza sound good to you right now? Also, yeah, by the way, thank you, Lag is great. I missed your super chat. So Lag is great is one of the fun regulars from the channel. And it's been a little bit since I've heard you describe me as handsome. I'm glad that you're here on the stream, and I'm glad that you're having a good one today. I'm destroying a trial chamber. I started off a little chaotically, but I feel like I'm like in control of it in a good way now. But I'll be honest with you, chat. This morning I woke up and I was excited to speedrun, and I was like, no, I can't keep putting off destroying the trial chamber. And I thankfully I got excited about it, but I'm still thinking in the back of my mind, like, I think that I could get, I found the world record for finding a trial key, even on Java, without using a set seed. It's really, really, really achievable. I could get the overall world record from Ominous Vault. And, you know, like, obviously most people are aiming for Maces as their speedrun, not the Vault. But like the record for a mace is like amazingly high. It's like over an hour to get a mace. I feel like we could do like a double speedrun extravaganza. Hold on, he's actually using a haste beacon. Yeah, it actually made a huge difference here, Harrison. Usually it's like a very minor thing. Okay, I'm gonna fly at the skeleton. I can't get him. That last skeleton's just gonna be there forever now. Yeah, the haste beacon is it makes the difference between instant mining and not, so it's like such a huge difference. But I had to admit that it was worthwhile. I don't like that I had to admit it. Big dent to my ego right there. Bring logistical support. So yeah, what I'm thinking of doing, chat, is I think that we worked out that I can speedrun an ominous vault in about half an hour if I get like a really decent run going. But then I realized that, you know, that means I could probably get a mace done in theoretically the same time. If I just try it 14 times in a row or 16 times in a row, whatever the odds are, eventually I'll get a mace in, say, 30 minutes, right? And so I think that's like my end goal for the speedrunning, because it's really, really fun. I had a lot of fun with it yesterday, and so I think we're going to do it some more. So check out, if you're in speedrunning, then would timing your key input to the vault to get your desired item be allowed? It's a glitch that can allow you to get your... Does it actually work, HackerOneMC? I've seen no evidence. You're someone I usually trust on these sorts of things. You're a reliable source, I feel like. You're not an unreliable source. Does it actually work every single time? I feel like I've tried it before, yes. I've tried it, I've tried it, and I've not been successful, and everyone looks at it and they're like, oh, but you're just not doing it right. And it's like, you've got to activate it before you can see it in some cases. It's like, well, then that's just randomness again. If you can't see what you're trying to activate, then you don't know what you're activating, and so you're activating randomly, is my take. So, Kat, would you say you have post-haste clarity? No, I would not say that. That is not what I would say about this situation at all. Okay, so it's spider kill time. Oh yeah, one hit KO as long as I get the critical one. So now we're going to activate this spawner. Get lots of skeletons. Don't need to jump hit them because I've got strength on right now. Oh, maybe I have to jump hit the guys with the diamond armor. Oof, oh, he's firing so fast. It's like he's got haste on or something. So that's not a keep. So I'll kill these guys looking for one instead. I like that they spawn in midair. There's something very goofy about the fact that you'll get baby zombies spawning in midair. It just feels like it shouldn't happen that way. But it's nice that it does anyway. And now you. And oh, give me a key. Nope, no key. I hate dealing with this trial chamber over here, so I'm gonna boycott it, chat. I'm not dealing with it. How do you rate the trial chambers in a scale of loot and fun on a scale of 1 to 10? Says Chase Jimin. In terms of fun, kind of subjective, right? I feel like they really nailed almost everything. A part of me wishes, I bet they tried it and it just didn't work. I wish there were challenges for other things besides just combat. I feel like it's the trial chambers, not the combat trial chambers, and it kind of functions like that. But they you know, the rest of it's kind of like more subtle. So you test your parkour skills by getting around the structure, I guess. You could argue. So there's a lot of skeletons spawning there. Where's the second breeze? There's got to be one. Oh, here he is. Okay, so I've still got my strength on, thankfully, and so as long as I can break this, I'll be able to kill all of you fellas. No problems whatsoever. Love it. Give me a key. Yeah. I'm gonna open so many vaults when this is done, chat. It's gonna be a vault extravaganza. You should get the tiny chest plate when a baby zombie drops it. Yeah, I think it is wild that baby zombies drop full-size loot. I've genuinely thought about this quite a few times. It feels like that's not how that should work. But also, I totally appreciate, like, how else could they make it work? That doesn't mean I don't feel a different way. Okay. So that's going to be, hopefully, another key? Ooh, so many keys today, chat. 26 trial keys, 18 ominous keys. But again, we've got a mission to complete. Let's get back to it. So, yeah, this room being complete is a fairly easy one to set as a nice goal for the day. It can be used as a kneecap. Crop top armor. Crop top armor is a must, I tell you. Crop top armor is a must. But yeah, you know, chat. Keep my big confession about me between me and you for today. Make sure no one else. Make sure that doesn't get out. I feel like basically any group, like I feel like almost any group of people, you can come up with a really negative list of stereotypes about, and a really positive list. Like I'm. That sounds like I'm making like a let's start listing one by one. So we'll start with the Albanians. I'm trying to say. Like any group that you can use to identify people with together. Also, IBXToyCat, YouTube Studios having issues, won't let load. Is it okay to publish? Yeah, go for it. Yeah, let's publish it. Let's make it live. Chat, are you excited for a new video? Hope you are. Do you see that, by the way? Like, it temporarily doesn't have an enchantment, and then it does when you move it. Is this true for my armor too? Let's see if it affects everything. Oh, it is. It's true for everything. Yeah. Do you like my armor trim, by the way, chat? I hope you do. If you say you don't, I'll feel real sad. So load the string into here, and then load the arrows into there. It's so full. I don't know what to do about this chest. It's causing me real problems. So diamond mobs can spawn in trimmed armor. They only spawn in trimmed armor in the trial chambers. Oh, Alina, this might be your first time doing this. So Dasher and I's messages are struggling to send to. YouTube is just struggling. Yeah, YouTube was struggling earlier this week too. I'm glad, despite that, so many of you managed to make it to the live stream today. It's a fun time. I think it's good to chat about so much, and hopefully you will look. What do I even do about that chat? Like, do I just not mine anywhere near him? Do I make sure I mine all these blocks early so he can't do anything to me? Feels like the only realistic solution. Feels like the only solution we have here at all. But I don't know that I love just saying there's no real solution and then walking out of it. So yeah, yeah, do you feel like a boneless pizza, Chantal? You think that sounds good? YouTube's having a stroke. It took me 4 attempts to send that. Okay, yeah, so weird. Chat, is YouTube working for you? Let's do a poll. let's do a poll. Let's find out if YouTube's going well or not tonight. Yeah, I love boneless pizza. Yeah, let's do something maybe. Okay, so I am going to oh, it's lightninging. I got a really good offer for a chat. So I say this all the time, but you have to train. You know, there's loads of apps out there for loads of different. I said this before. You have to be price sensitive. If you're not price sensitive as an individual, you're telling companies they can charge you whatever you like, and then you're just gonna pay it. Like if you say to if you say to Uber, oh yeah, if you surge price me 12 times, I'm still gonna pay to get to my destination. They're like, oh, this guy doesn't mind surge pricing. Awesome. Whereas if you tell McDonald's that I'm only gonna eat there when you give me a deal, you might find you get more deals than otherwise. Anyway, I got a really good deal at McDonald's, and I need to let them know that I get a deal, I go to McDonald's. I need to. It's a kind of funny thing. It's like, am I conditioning them that I'll go to their restaurant only when they give me a deal, or you know, because they've got an algorithm that I'm hopefully training, or are they conditioning me that whenever they want me in their restaurant, they just have to give me a deal? Who's winning out there, chat? And the answer is hopefully mutually beneficial incentives. Means we're both winning out. I've had a few times messages fail to send and some buffering, but YouTube works, says Beautiful Maya. So yeah, it looks like about 40% of people have issues and 59% of people are fine. So speaking of things being fine, oh, chat! Look, I finally hit the finest of Minecraft levels. That's fun. What do I do about this newfound, what do I do with this newfound experience we have? I do have to work out, chat. I'm looking for really good ways to work out what I should do with these levels, because they're just kind of piling up unnecessarily right now. Should I get an enchantment table in here? I think I might do that. I'll bring an entire enchantment table and just start enchanting books randomly, seeing what I get. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna randomly enchant books, because I want to get density of all the levels. And I know you're probably better off trading for a villager of that. But I think I might enjoy rolling the dice over and over again and seeing what happens to me. Is your mace enchanted yet? No, HackerOneMC. I feel like I should make a I feel like that might be a fun thing to do. You know, I want to make a Let's Play episode, but there's this like internal stress of like, okay, if it's a Let's Play episode, it has to do this, this, this. It can't just be, here's the fun thing I want to do. So I've got to work out the fun excuse to enchant my mace, and maybe make a second mace and enchant that one too. And maybe get all the extra books and all that stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, the exciting thing to say here is that I have a lot of blocks. And the other exciting thing to say, it's, for me, it's a yesence. Sometimes YouTube forgets to update YouTube statuses, whether they're live or not. Good to see you, Cloudy. I think YouTube live streaming is such a non-priority for them. I don't know why. Because YouTube could totally outcompete Twitch if they just put some extra effort into it, right? If they just replicate the Twitch features, Twitch dies overnight. As long as if you can browse the YouTube live page for the game, you know, if it worked like Twitch did, all of a sudden no one would use Twitch because Twitch is a worse deal for the creators. It's a worse stream for the users. But there's some features that will keep people there, and there's the existing creators that they're not gonna bring over. I feel like, also, do I not have any waxed weathered copper bulbs? That's a waxed weathered copper bulb. Oh, it's a full stack. Oh, okay. That's reasonable then. So we'll move some of these and some of these into there. Because this is going to be the big old waxed oxidized copper. So, I am going to place my fire charges in here. I've had a random bit of head pain, chat. What is that? What is it when your head randomly hurts? Is there a word for that? Is that the I need boneless pizza sign? I would love a boneless pizza right now. Chat, it's a Monday. My favorite. Getting pizza by the slice is hard in London, but there's a pizza by the slice place that does so it's a Monday only deal. You get a cheaper slice. Love a boneless pizza slice. I should confirm, see if they actually have boneless pizza. It might all be boned. Oh yeah, so I wonder if my head is actually you know, it's weird. Head pain feels like a whole different type. I feel like you can ignore every body pain, but when your head hurts, it's like, oh, the part of your body that tells you when things hurts. Feels like you're extra damaging yourself when you ignore it in a way that it's not with your body, right? So yeah, I've had a wonderful stream today. I think we basically destroyed this room. I think we have to probably put a little extra effort into making sure we get these pieces up. But then we can just say that there are 2 big trial chambers left, and then it's just a hallway and some connector blobs. That still means that at the average pace we're going right now, it's probably going to be 5 streams to destroy. And, you know, usually we underestimate rather than overestimate these. So, how do you feel about that, chat? 3 more streams till we destroy the entire thing. That puts us on track for about 18 to 19 hours. Maybe a little less. That last room might be easier or harder to destroy. And we've already destroyed a bit of the previous room, so we'll have to see. But yeah, for now, it is, what's your mug of the stream, says Alina? Oh, it's my wine glass. I've been drinking out of it. It's not wine, it's Diet Pepsi, no caffeine. Maybe I'm just dehydrated. Maybe I need more Diet Pepsi in me. You know, maybe if we had doctors that were braver, diagnosing and could, you know, if they could offer relief like that, things would be good. But yeah, I got a new video out, chat. That's good news too. You know what else is good? The fact that it is a Monday, and there are good things coming throughout the rest of the week, hopefully. That's an awesome wine glass. Thank you. I like it a lot too. It's such a silly idea. I have some guilt, chat. Do you wanna revel in something that actually makes me feel bad every time I remember it? So when I bought this wine glass, I bought it in like August, and by September it hadn't arrived. And so I was like, oh yeah, just let you know it didn't get here. And they're like, oh, so sorry, immediately send one out. And they did. It was great. And then in like late September, I have a bin that doesn't get, I have a place where I have a bin place, and in my bin place, I found a big box I was like, oh, this box is in a place I wasn't expecting. And so it turns out they just delivered to my bin, basically, rather than delivering to me. And so I have a second one. I don't know what I did with it, though, actually. Well, maybe it... Yeah, I don't know what I did with it, actually. Bummed out that YouTube requires 50 subs to stream, says Chase Jimin. Does Twitch require any subscribers to stream? I think it's, YouTube's really, really cautious about everything. Because newspapers run headlines like, YouTube is playing ads on ISIS content, if an ISIS account with 4 subscribers is making something. I have no idea why they set that up or why they did such big hit pieces for it. But YouTube's response had to be basically not monetizing that stuff. I think it's crazy that that was just accepted as like, yep. If an account with 4 views is being monetized by Coca-Cola, then I guess no one will monetize. Like it was, the whole apocalypse started because of some dumb newspapers printing some dumb stories about some dumb stuff that was happening literally dozens of times. And so as a result, to this day, you can't be partnered till you get 4,000 watch hours, because that way YouTube's not playing ads in your video, you're fine. To this day, you can't stream until you get a bunch of requirements. There's a lot of pieces of YouTube stuff that are just locked off, because we're like, but what if terrorism? I don't know, I feel like terrorism is used for a lot of justifications of things that we don't necessarily have. But you know what else is used for things that we don't have? Oh, how do I get up there? I guess I go to this and then... Come on, I'm so close. If I just had the haste, I'd get that done. I got it done anyway. Perfect. Okay, so this room is... I think besides the center, more or less complete then. I think it's very satisfying to get to this point. I'm very happy that we're here. But I also feel a bit like, you know, it looks like the ancient city, but Tula, right? Chat, do you see what I mean by that? This looks a lot like it. What's the temperature there, Toy Cat? It's late o'clock. Is that a temperature? I hope it's a temperature. I enjoyed streaming a lot today, chat. I hope you enjoyed coming along to it. At this point, I would vote for Saddam Hussein as president of the US to stop this YouTube madness. Yeah, you know, why don't we get to vote on YouTube CEO? I think there is a really powerful question about why it is you get democracy in some parts of your life but not others. But I think it's way more exciting to, instead of answering that, let's ask one more question today, chat. And that is, if your boy Toy Cat, let's just imagine, hypothetically, we were to say that, you know, your friend on the internet, your parasocial friend, who you definitely know very well, he says it's parasocial, but you know in your head that it must be something more. Let's say that your boy Toy Cat just asked you to consider becoming a channel member so that you'd see things like Doritos, bathing in Doritos, by the way. You'll be shocked to learn how much a bathtub full of Doritos cost. But if you want to see and support the channel, then maybe you could consider becoming a member. You know, it's something you might consider doing. But you know what else is something you might consider doing? Saying thank you for watching, letting me know that you had a good day, and maybe, you know, if that sounds like too much for you, maybe you should set yourself a simple or sorry, if your boy Toy Cat, who you know very well, asked you to consider becoming a channel member, would you? Beautiful. No notes. 10 out of 10. Would not question again. So this has been Destroying a Trial Chamber Part 2. I'm looking forward to Part 3. I feel like that's when we'll be more destroyed than not. Like, in my mind, the tipping point, the middle point, you know, like, having done more than not, is a really big milestone. I'm looking forward to it a lot. And hopefully you are too. For now, though, by the way, I think I started today's stream with 0 ominous keys, and now I have 26 trial keys and 18 ominous trial keys. So it's been a successful stream. And I feel like, even if it, like, 30% of it has been destroying stuff, I'm really good about that. And also, I'm level 69. Haha. Okay, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, chat. We're going to be doing some speedrunning. I'm going to aim for the world record for the ominous bottle. And if we're lucky, the mace too. Going to have some record by the end of tomorrow. If it kills me. For today, though, I'm going to find whatever makes my head feel better. Have a good one. See you next time. Goodbye. Wait. Look, I'm waving my pickaxe at you. And then bits of chest are coming out of your face. Because I've just found out that you're actually a chest. That's why you're not a member on the channel yet.